Merry Christmas, everybody! Happy holidays! Yay! Oh my god, it's snowing for everybody except for me. What the hell? Like
you're down in Texas, it's rare.
Yeah, that's true. Damn.
It's snowing for me here in the cave.
Yeah, what? All right. Hello, it's me, John. I'm here hosting for the Gamesline podcast. Before I start asking questions of you all, we should do the intro. Happy holidays to all, for sure. This is the last episode for the year. Oh my god, looks like I got attacked. The fuck? I'm looking at the camera and it's yeah, what the hell? I must just scratch my neck. I'm sorry. I just noticed that and I was like, oh my god, that looks way worse than it is. No, I'm fine. But we're here. And we are going to not do an episode next week, or maybe the week after, but just the way that things work, this will be the last episode of the year. So yes, John, I'm here. With me this time is Lily. Lily, you're here inside of the cave, as it were, where it is snowing.
This is my New Year's cave.
Oh, okay. So, what makes it a New Year's cave as opposed to any other time of year, perhaps?
Well, the allegory of the cave, right? Everyone's familiar?
Yeah. Yes, I would say so.
So this is where I come to contemplate like a hermit. I've been in the thinker pose since last week.
So you've just been thinking. You've been thinking real hard about gaming and or other topics, I suppose.
I've been ruminating. This also ties into a topic that I will discuss later, but that's a little secret for you to keep listening for.
Ooh.
See, that's professionalism right there.
Yes.
Keep them waiting.
Yes. Keep them waiting. Keep them hooked.
That's showbiz, kids.
It sure is. Rose, you're also here. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
Where are you currently located? It looks like you're in the pink clouds.
Yeah, it's like the Bloodborne's hunter's dream, but for when you're normal.
Okay. I'm gonna push back against that because you do seem to have some sort of Cube World trading card pack on your table, and that doesn't seem normal. So,
are you saying that CCG collectors aren't normal?
No. As a CCG game collector, no, we are not. But
see, John, this isn't a CCG. I have to break it to you. It's something that would make you even more upset. It's a Switch game keycard version of Cube World that I invented. It's just very small because it only has the key code on the cartridge.
I see now. That is insane. Thank you for your insight, though. I'm glad to know that such a thing is occurring out there.
Yep. Thank
you. Is there something going on with Cube World, or were you just thinking about it?
I was going through my folder. I had to reconstruct my OBS scene, and I just was like, what pictures do I have? Inexplicably this tiny ass image of Cube World. Don't know why I have that. I think my Cube World article was years and years ago last time I wrote about it.
That's I guess why you have it, but
I do pay attention to that guy's tweets, and they're really good still. Just every couple months he just posts a picture of a zombie walk cycle and is like, new engine.
Yet again, we're changing engines.
It really tickles me every time.
Well, other things occurred in gaming this past week or so. The big thing, of course, was the Game Awards. Geoff Keighley showed up and talked to us about gaming.
Yeah, it was 3 hours of him kissing Miss Piggy. It was really controversial.
It was scary how charged his interactions with Miss Piggy were. They straight up hinted that he had a romantic and or sexual affair with Miss Piggy at some point. And Geoff did say something along the lines of, "Please, Miss Piggy, my mom is here." It was scary.
I love video games.
I love video games. I do. I love video games. So I feel like this was for the Game Awards, I thought it was fine. I didn't think anything like really horrible happened. I wasn't like bored to tears. Like, I don't think the Game Awards are something that you should really like ascribe a lot of
It's commercial.
to. It's a commercial. But it was fine. Some of the stuff they revealed was cool. Whatever. Everyone's mad that Claire Obscure won a bunch of awards. I think did it completely sweep everything that it was nominated for? I think it did.
Pretty much. I think it won the most awards or whatever.
Pretty much, to the point where Geoff had to like turn to the camera and go, "Look, Silksong won something." Which,
like, some people thought that he was being like malicious about that, but I that was more because I think the Team Cherry like very publicly said like, we already know we're not going to win anything, so we're not going to go. So that was Geoff just kind of like ribbing them, just being like, "Hey, you should have came. You could have gotten your award," you know. Which, like, sure, you know, like I don't think that was malicious.
Maybe this is me reading too much into it, but it was really funny every time watching someone go up and take an award, and it seemed like every one of those devs was startled with how heavy the statue was.
It's fucking huge.
My personal favorite was when they got the Hades 2 award and went up, and Greg Cassavan was there, and Greg Cassavan immediately handed off that award and was like grabbing his hands like, ugh, like immediately. I really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can criticize the Game Awards a whole bunch, but I do think that award is really nice. Like the actual statue, I think it looks really nice. That's one of the better like awards, like statues in, you know, like the Oscars. You know that the Oscar looks really nice. Don't get me wrong, but like the big old wings and stuff, it looks cool. It looks really cool. I will give that to Geoff. But yes, they won. Okay, I guess it was all but one that they were nominated in. Let me see if I can see which one it was. Claire Obscure. They were up for. God, this is so much stuff. Okay, because they had the Player's Voice Award. They were up for that. Whoa, Rose, you became very small.
I know. I was turning off the air conditioner.
Okay. That was scary.
It's snowing. I was really scared. Yeah. I didn't know what would happen.
It's okay. And the only reason why they didn't win that was because 2 gacha games were up for that, and whenever a gacha game wins something, they give out free currency, so...
I'm surprised that it was Wuwa, though. It's like, I know a couple people who play Wuwa, but it feels like it's a little bit of an underdog in that space.
I don't know.
It is currently in my front runner of gacha games because I played it for 3 consecutive days before uninstalling it.
That's impressive.
That's because literally the person on the banner at the time the game came out was white-haired, red-eyed horn woman, so you know.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I had to get the self-rep in there.
So yeah, I'll just go through the rest of the award winners there. So yeah, so Claire Obscure did win Game of the Year. They also won Best Game Direction, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Best Music. Jennifer English won Best Performance for her character in Claire Obscure.
I saw a joke about that where it's like, except for last year, every year that's one Game of the Year has her in it as main woman. So.
It won Best Indie and Best Debut Indie Game, and then also Best RPG. So that's a lot. And then I have to scroll up. Okay, Best Audio Design. Oh, okay. They didn't win Best Audio Design as well. That was something they were up for. So, okay. So there's, I guess, technically 2 awards they didn't win. Because Battlefield 6 won Best Audio Design. Sure. Games for Impact, which we can We could talk about that, I guess, if we want to.
That's when you're gay.
That's when you're gay or aren't white. So that was South of Midnight. Let's see. Best ongoing game was No Man's Sky. Sure. Best community support was Baldur's Gate 3, which, like, I think that's just, like, one award. Like, I don't think that should be separate things. Like, these are the same games on both of them. Like, the only thing is that instead of on Best Ongoing, they have Marvel Rivals, and then on Best Community Support, they have Baldur's Gate. Like, it's literally the exact same game, so they should get rid of one of those. That doesn't mean anything.
I think it's insane that audio design is, like, their only technical award that they have in that whole thing. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Best VR/AR game is The Midnight Walk.
That's the claymation one. Pretty cool.
Best action game was Hades 2. Best action adventure game was Silksong. Best fighting game was Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, which, like, if, like, I as much as we talk shit about City of the Wolves, it's like that game kind of won on a technicality almost, because it's like 2XKO is, like, not even really out yet. And then the other 3 games were Capcom Fighting Collection and Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which, like, are just compilations. They're good compilations, but they're compilations. And then Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage, which is just another re-release of Virtua Fighter 5. So it's like, there is literally one game that is a full new release from this year for a fighting game, and it won. So, yeah, it's like, okay, maybe if any other fighting game came out this year. But, yeah. Best family game was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Best sports game was Mario Kart World. Best multiplayer game was Arc Raiders with... Innovation in accessibility is Doom of the Dark Ages, which, like...
It had, like, a million sliders, so it made sense.
Sure, yeah. Best adaptation was The Last of Us Season 2, which, again, as Leo K. Rogue is saying in the chat right now, the guy screaming Night Rain was right. Best adaptation, yes, Last of Us Season 2, which, like...
I thought people didn't like that.
Yeah, but also, when you compare it to the rest of the things that are on this list, it's like, okay, I guess so. Like, that's another one where it's like a technicality thing, because it's like the Minecraft movie, the Devil May Cry series, the Splinter Cell series, and the Until Dawn movie.
Okay, so I gotta say, the Until Dawn movie is really bad, but it's also really funny. There's a part where they drink water that makes them explode. And they're all just like, I get away from the water. And they all just keep exploding. It's really good.
Yeah, maybe it should have won then. Okay, that's fair. Best mobile game was Uma Musume, which, I mean, that's true.
John?
No,
yes.
yeah.
I think you mean Oh Mama Sume.
Oh Mama Sume. Pretty derby.
I really like that the guy came up and said it correctly, and then she said it again. That's what really got me. It really tickled me.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Yes, the sports thing from Mario Kart World. A lot of people are very mad about that because they wanted Sonic to win.
I mean, I heard Sonic's kind of a better game. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is the secret. It doesn't matter. And then, Player's Voice was Wuthering Waves, and most anticipated game, which again was GTA 6, which, like, okay, I mean, like, it should have been out by now, you know? It'll never come out. With the way those union negotiations are going currently, it will never come out.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever. We spoke about how it, we spoke about it a little bit, but I think it bears repeating to just be like, this matters as much as you put weight behind it. Like, I think that it's fun to do award stuff per se, but, like, people take it way too seriously, and there's people, again, on both sides of the Claire Obscure camps that are just fucking insane, and it drives me nuts to see. Like, I don't want to just sit there and harp on it because they don't really deserve it. But It's frustrating. It's just miserable.
A nice little game. I don't. It really sucks. I remember even before it came out, people were already preemptively being insane about it, and it was like, if you go to the website for the developer, you can just see the guy like listed like, please play Lost Odyssey and Kingdom Hearts 2. These are my favorite games, or whatever. Like.
Yeah. As a aspiring shoulder in the chat is saying, yeah, there's like a lot of people, just being weird about JRPGs, and then the people that want to defend JRPGs just swinging way too hard in the other direction. Yep, and it's just like,
definitely
just take the game by its merits, by what it is, not by what you want to ascribe to it.
Well, I mean, again, it's the ongoing problem where you have a horse in the race inherently by trying to argue a position that is not being rhetorically debated by the other side of the argument. And the thing that has kind of defined this era of discussion on the internet, I'm not going to do it the service of calling it discourse, we'll just call it arguing. Mm-hmm. But like, some people are not arguing the same point for the same reason. Mm-hmm. And because people are not arguing in good faith, you see those apocalyptically bad takes. Not me. I exclusively follow good, smart, and intelligent people, and then they see the bad takes for me, and I have to watch them in pain and go, man, that must have been awful. And then I go back to retweeting pictures of women.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically just like, you just can't, ascribe too much to it. It's just be yourself. Have your own opinion, and, I
think the real sad part about it to me is that it's like, a lot of people I know absolutely nothing about that game. Like, literally, they just know the discourse, or like one factoid that someone might have said at some point, but there's no one going like, hey, have you heard the insane jazz music in this game? Because at the awards they played the two same fucking songs over and over again, and it made me go crazy.
Yes. I was sitting there like, you couldn't have, like, if you knew they were going to be nominated this many times, you couldn't have sliced up the song in big slightly different places.
Like, that game has like a 70 song soundtrack. It's great. Like, there's but like, they have synthesizer beats, they got fucking I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, I just like, no one talks about the blue mage, that's what makes me sad. It's like, they should be talking about how cool the blue mage is in that game.
I mean, it's just everyone just wants to agenda post. Everyone's just like a bunch of people decided that the best way to get clout on social media was to find something to hate and then ascribe it to either that it's somehow involved with racism or some other thing, because it's like, there's so many posts that it's just like, Claire Obscure is just acting like the great white savior of JRPGs, or they're saying it's spiritually Israeli, and it's like, you're just saying this shit because once you do, if someone says, no, it's a good game, they say, what, are you racist? What do you hate Gaza? It's like, no, I just fucking like the video game, shut up! Like, so...
Well, I mean, I think a big issue in that style of arguing is, as I've said, people in a space where everyone is talking. Like, we've seen this happen in real time in spaces not related to Claire Obscure. Mm-hmm. Every reason that you dislike something needs to be given cosmic, sociological, political ramifications. Mm-hmm. And you can't just... People act like you can't just say, I don't like this. It also needs to be morally incorrect. And, like, again, I can not like a game and not say... I can say things about what I personally, emotionally don't like about it, while also saying, it's well made, it's just not for me.
The people that I will just be like, you know what, fair to them every time is everyone who just goes, I'm sorry, the game is too French for me. I'm just like, you know what, fair. You know what, let's leave it there.
I do love how parodically French it is.
It's extremely French.
It's beautiful.
And for a lot of people, it's like, that's great. But if you're just like, I can't handle that one, it's like, okay, that's fine.
The first fight of the game is a mime.
It is. It's so good.
The funny thing was, I have played one play session of Clair Obscur. I almost said Trails. It's like reflexive at this point. I played one play session of Clair Obscur, and I've reached to this point where I think that game is cosmically defined by mimes, because it was the first fight when I started playing, and it was the last fight when I stopped playing.
The news bit, though, is that they did release a new DLC. Specifically, it's like I think it's just an update.
Yeah, it's just like a patch.
Yeah. But yes, they added a new patch that adds a new area and some like new bosses and stuff and costumes and changed some other little things. You know, it's basically just like a thank you for your support kind of thing. Like, I think they were speaking about doing this for a while, so this isn't like them just being like, we won game of the, but like they lined it up because they were just like, yeah, like we figure we're gonna win something, so we'll sync it up with our awards, you know. So that's nice, and yeah, that's good I mean, for them, you know.
Offhand, do you know what it actually like added or changed?
It's a new dungeon, new bosses, and costumes.
Yeah, so it added like a new area with some remixed bosses that are just, they already have that in the original game, but there were some that I think they might have added a new kind of thing, because there was these chromatic bosses where you fight bosses with some slightly new mechanics or something. I don't know about the outfits. I know this makes it Steam Deck verified, which it basically ran fine on the Steam Deck before. There's just one area that didn't handle the fog well. I don't know. I have not heard how that area handles now, but I do know that they still didn't. They did the classic Steam Deck fumble where they did not make the Steam Deck settings that it defaults to the best possible settings that you could do, even though it's pretty easy to set them up. And it's just like, what are we doing? Why is this such an issue? But yeah,
I am looking at the list here. They did add some new music as well.
Okay.
That's why they couldn't do it for the presentation.
Yeah.
It's just a remix of those two songs.
Yeah. They added photo mode. And some new text localizations. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, it's a, you know, like a nice little free update, I would say.
I think they did a patch also a little bit ago that fixed like my major problem with the game, which is they dump you into the final act of that game, kind of, and then they're like, hey, go around, fuck around. But really, they want you to go beat the final boss and then do that. But now they let you buff the final boss so that it's not just really easy after you do everything.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
So I really liked that feature.
Sure.
Respectable.
All right. Do you all want to just go through the announcements, or do you think it would just be best to like pick some that we found interesting? And because you know, a lot of these are just like, okay.
Let's cherry pick a little bit.
Sure. We have. Okay. I guess you have this list here I can look at.
I have the full list for us on IGN.com. I mean, the number one thing that I think all three of us are very excited about is Control Resonant.
Hell yeah, brother.
I could not believe, like, the thing was, I knew that they were going to do some manner of like Control announcement. That was clear. But seeing that both with that particular character and that exact presentation, because you were making jokes about it on Blue Sky, talking about like the plot of that game is the SCP's escape, and
all the SCPs got loose. Fuck!
That's your favorite thing in the world.
It's
Have you read the store page description of the plot summary?
No.
Not
it's
specifically.
Like the hiss and the mold have escaped, and it's like, oh man, we gotta fight the goop. I hate the goop.
Damn it! But yes, it is the sequel to Control, where you play as Dylan Faden, who is the original character's brother. Jesse Faden is her brother. And instead of it being like a third-person shooter like the original was, this one's a character action game. And it looks like it goes fucking hard. You're just in like an infected Manhattan that's crawling with hiss and other monsters, and you're going around with like a fucking Zwei hammer and shit. Like you're just
I was so good. Initially a little trepidatious because I think that like Control and Alan Wake 2, their combat is like like I kind of think Alan Wake 2's combat is worse than 1 in some ways.
Really?
I'm crazy though. Don't listen to me. But I will say I was won over a bit more because I did play that Control Left 4 Dead game, a bunch of it, with my friends.
Right.
And I think that actually has a lot of really good gameplay ideas. Like, genuinely. Like, I think the play feel is pretty good. It feels a lot better than, like, most of their games in terms of that. So it's like...
Okay.
I became a little more optimistic thinking about that being their last game that they just did.
Sure. I mean, I liked how Alan Wake 2 played, so I was...
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I knew this is a character action game, I was like, oh yeah, no, if they continue to build on the gunplay from Alan Wake 2, then I'm sure it'll be fine. Because, like, I didn't hate how Control played, but there were also a lot of elements where I was just like, yeah, this is, you know, this can be a pain in the ass sometimes. I think they did polish it up a bit with some, like, updates and all that. But there were still a lot of aspects that were just like, whatever, like all the stuff with like,
Control
the upgrades.
Has the fucking variable percent upgrade things that you slot in your stupid gun for no reason.
You know.
Yeah.
The mandatory AAA 3% increase to rock damage.
Yeah, but also, why did you do Final Fantasy 14 Fates to get them? It was so weird. Like, what the hell is going on?
The funny thing was, okay... Here is my damning with faint praise for Control, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
Control, for me, was like one of those games that you play one time and only one time. Because I played through the whole thing and I thought of it as relatively enjoyable. Like, I thought the maze was like the highlight of that game. It was this super cool... I wouldn't call it like an Uncharted moment, but it was like a high watermark, like scripted kind of scene.
Yeah.
And
a set piece.
Then I tried to play it again to like further cement my feelings. And then I went, this game has nothing more to show me. And there are some games that are just like that. There are games that I honestly think are better as almost as your memories of them. But if I could say one thing that I think could be potentially a good sign for it as a character action game, I've gone on record to say that character action games are defined by their juice. Like, the satisfaction of playing them is the paramount part. And the thing that I think they're really good at doing in those games is making your actions feel weighty, responsive, and offering feedback in a way that I think is really meaningfully important. Like throwing, like when you use the power to throw stuff and it rips the piece of the ground out and you throw it, you feel the weight of it really, really well. That that kind of design is really well established.
That sound effect, that like...
See, and like, again, that is everything for this genre of games. Like, if y'all remember when Monster Hunter Wilds came out, like as an example, everyone was complaining about like the amount of hit stop that wasn't in the game, and it made all of the weapons feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they will have a similar problem because they know that juice is what they're good at. And so if they carry that over, could be good.
I want to reiterate again, I think the Control multiplayer game really did that extremely well. Like, you had elemental play stuff, like you shot bubbles at people and you really felt like all that water shoot out of it, and then you zapped them and you felt like it like recoil back or whatever with the visuals and audio and everything. Like, I think they got it. A lot of people were complaining about that game at first because they did a thing where the starter guns feel bad and then you level them up and then they become good. And it was like, once you leveled them up to the point where they became good, it was like really, really good. So I think they got it. They are the audio-visual masters.
The main thing that I was like, because it was one of those things where I saw the trailer for it and I went, oh, well, like, I love kind of that Left 4 Dead style gameplay. Like, even though I talk a lot of smack on, like, Back 4 Blood or whatever, I do love that style of game. Like, what actually was kind of, like, meaningfully wrong with it in your experience?
At launch, I haven't actually played the updates, which I really want to because I heard they added a bunch of stuff. But at launch, it really was just the upgrade cadence was really bad. You basically just, like, until you got to the end of the game point where you had done everything once, that was when you started getting enough currency to get all the stuff. Like, it takes a really long time to get your ult, as an example. Like, I think you have to play like 12 missions or something at launch to get your ult. Now I think they just give it to you. The real problem is it just costs money, like, straight up. If it was free, everyone would have been like, oh, this is fine. Or even if it was a little bit cheaper, I think it would have been fine. Because I think it's like 40, 30, 40?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Like $40 or something
40
like
bucks.
that, yeah.
That's a $20 game. It's very high effort, and I hate saying that, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not.
It is funny that you say that. It is 50% off right now.
Okay. Well, hey,
there you go.
I enjoyed my time with it. I played like 15 hours of it or something with some of my friends, and I did enjoy it. I honestly like it. Well, I don't want to say that because it's like Left 4 Dead has mods and makes it good, but I kind of enjoyed it play feel wise more than Left 4 Dead, just because, again, Remedy is really good at that shit, and Left 4 Dead's kind of, a little loosey goosey.
Look, I don't want to tell you to fuck off, but
I mean, listen, I'm in support of Left 4 Dead. Okay, I'm just saying that the Source engine, it has its strengths and it has its weaknesses.
Okay.
Let's say.
And look, if anyone is going to make something that rivals or surpasses how Left 4 Dead is, it would be Remedy. So okay, then I'll concede that. Maybe I'll hop on that.
If you ever want to play, I can just download it at any time. Sure. I genuinely think it's pretty fun. I think it's just it's missing a lot for what they're asking out of you. They've cleaned up a lot of it, but I think it's just one of those things where it's like I said, those starting guns feel bad. So then everyone just went, oh, this game feels bad. And it's like, no, just if you do one mission and then, yeah.
I mean, I get it, but also, yeah.
It was, listen, when you get farther in that game and then there's an evil toaster flying around and you have to kill the evil toaster to stop things from getting bad, it's great.
I get it.
It's great.
I have patience, but a lot of gamers don't. Like Jarvis touched on.
I know how it is.
Crystal in the chat there does have a point. Is there anything that like you want to bring up that without looking at the list? Because like Control definitely is something that we just were talking about the whole time. But yeah, is there anything that stood out that you're just like completely off the dome? Like, aha, I remember that, and that was cool.
Two, I'm really excited for Divinity. Genuinely, I'm an old Divinity head. I only played Original Sin 1, but I played the older ones. And I really like Dragon Commander, so I'm hoping there's some dragons in there. Do
you think the Divinity, like, as I have them, do you think they're still worth like a playthrough?
The
today?
super old ones, they're like the Original Sin definitely is, but the super old ones, it's hit or miss, but I will say they're short as hell comparatively. Like, if you compare like a type of their game to the modern day, I think they have a lot of interesting ideas, especially the later ones. And then it's like they do run into the problem of Larian is very much a studio that used to bet the farm constantly, all the time, nonstop. So a lot of their games are just kind of unfinished. But they're still interesting. They have really good fantasy ideas. And you see that a lot in the original Sin games specifically, because it's, more modern sensibilities for writing, more, there's more fantasy games to draw from.
I mean, I do really like that in Original Sin 2, elves are like memory-stealing cannibals.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a cool, like, novel idea.
Yeah, they have a bunch of stuff that it's like more slow to dole out, I would say, in the older ones, but it's still fun. It's still cool. It's a lot, but it is sort of like comparing Baldur's Gate 1 to Baldur's Gate 3, right? It's like Baldur's Gate 1 is very much a more contained thing, and then the other ones are more crazy.
I mean, I'm one of those people. I can appreciate old game design provided I'm in like the right mental space. It's just I want to know that like there is something good to derive from it.
Yeah.
Though I will say, okay, so I believe that Larian is really good at their craft, but I really kind of came away from the trailer feeling kind of distinctly negative, mostly because, and I'm not just gonna say like juvenilely like, oh, the trailer was gross. It just felt like you were combining a lot of transgressive elements in a kind of way that I didn't specifically understand why you were showing it to me, other than shock value.
Yeah, it felt very empty.
You had a man throwing up on a pig, and then you showed me the pig eating the puke, and then you cut to like a guy raw dogging someone, and then you cut to a guy's like flame stippled pustulant back. And don't get me wrong, the imagery stuck with me, but as I think I said repeatedly, decidedly yucky, decidedly very gross.
It was definitely one of those things where like I think that if the like transgressive element was the fucked up thing happening to the guy and like the shit popping out of him, that would have been a lot more understanding. But it definitely like the rest of it felt like we're gonna have this guy yarfing on a hog, and then we're gonna show boobs.
I don't even mean
sex,
this
and it's like
that negative way, but distinctly European, like this very distinct, like The Witcher, right? Like the same type of
yeah. Where it's like, again, I get it. Like they're trying to be just like, hey, crazy stuff happens, but like it like at the very least, yeah, like knowing that it's Larian, knowing what kind of game this is, we're not walking away from this being like it's gonna be a shitty game, it's gonna be juvenile, but also it's just like whatever.
They've earned some level of trust from me at this point. Like, even though I haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3, I do think that I've enjoyed what I've played, and I liked Original Sin 2. I'll let them cook in that specific sense. It's one of the things I was the most eager to like actually get my hands on compared to like some of the other stuff. Like my partner was pretty excited for like KOTOR as an example, and I have like zero emotional connection to the KOTOR stuff.
I was like momentarily interested in the KOTOR. I'm not even a Star Wars person. I was just like, okay, I'm happy for my Star Wars fans. And then it said it was the Mass Effect guy, and I was like, not good.
Yeah. Oh, and also before we completely move on, that Divinity was what the statue was. We know what the statue was. It was
that
Divinity,
was like what I predicted it would be immediately, because they like haven't done anything for 6 months since they did the last Baldur's Gate update, and I was like, they're probably just doing that. Sure. And then everyone was like, Fallout New Vegas 2? ? And it's like, what?
I don't know where we are, man.
Don't worry about it. I mean, I'm potentially interested in a new Mega Man Dual Override.
Yeah.
I do absolutely understand and also kind of stand with a lot of the people that are just like, Yeah, the fact that it's been so long since a new Mega Man, and it looks like they are capital J, capital M, just making another Mega Man game at this point. It's like, you really couldn't have just done this? You know, like, yeah, why did it take that long?
And I had all the fanfare for it. I was like, it looks better than 11. Don't get me wrong visually, but it is still very much in that pastiche, right? Like,
it's a 2D side scroller. There's probably going to be, like 8 Robot Masters or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, why is it taking this long? Why is it?
I'd rather just play one that looks like 10 again. Like, fuck it, I don't care. Like,
it's very odd. I don't know, but I mean, at the same time, hey, new Mega Man, like, that's good.
It is really funny. Like, we live in like a time of the yearly release. Like, we just now got like the announcement where they're like, okay, we're not going to do another Black Ops. We've heard you loud and clear. And like, it's easy to forget that Mega Man at one point was on that yearly release grind. And I know a lot of the older fans, especially of some like a property like Mega Man, they really want something that remains faithful because, well, frankly, this genre isn't really as populous as it used to be. Mm-hmm. We don't have like a ton of competitors, and while I think like it doesn't need to like revolutionize it all, I absolutely understand like the frustration on why they can't just make it. But I'll try it. If it ends up in front of me, I'll try it. And I love me some Mega Man every now and again.
Better put Proto Man in this one. That's all I'm saying. None more of this nonsense. Put him back. Mm-hmm. Have him jump and his shield comes out.
Something that, to build off of something said in the chat here, I am kind of surprised they didn't go for an X game.
Kind of, yeah. But they just did Dash, right? Or not Dash. What the fuck's it called? What is it called? The gacha game that they made real?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called. But I mean, yeah, but also like that's that game. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. And I mean, you know what? My fucked up theory is that it's called dual override because there will be 2 characters. Maybe X will show up. That's what I think. It'll be two playable characters, and the second one will be X. That's my theory that has no proof other than the title. But I'm going to throw that out there.
We're going to bring back Bass.
Did they say this one's 2027?
Yes.
Okay.
So
what could they possibly be doing if it's just 11 again? Because it looks just like normal. I
don't know. I have no idea. And then I follow like Proto Dude on Twitter who like knows everything about the behind the scenes for Mega Man and like on Blue Sky as well. He was like posting like, yeah, no, this is like early stuff that they're showing too. So like, because a bunch of people are talking about how samey it looks, and he's like, it might look different. Things may change between what they showed and when it comes out. And it's like even if they do, like
what could they do?
What are they gonna do to it? Yeah, like what's gonna be done? Like, I don't know. It's a very bizarre thing where it's like I'm happy about it, but it's also like this being like the second to last thing that they showed, and it being like probably they had like they wheeled the fucking orchestra to come out and play the fucking Wily 2 song.
Fuck that. That's not even the best Mega Man song. I'm sick of this shit all the time. But no, like literally, it not to be dismissive because whatever, but it looked like an Xbox Live arcade game, for lack of a better descriptor, right? And it's like, this is the big return for Mega Man after Mega Man Battle Network sold better than anything they've ever done with that HD collection. Yeah. Like, okay.
We could just go through the Capcom stuff because that was like most of the really good stuff. Yeah, they officially revealed Leon for Resident Evil Requiem.
Hell yeah.
And he drives around in a Porsche, and they like very specifically like doing a collab with Porsche about the car, which okay.
Notoriously, gamers can afford Porsches right now.
Yeah. But I mean, he's like 51 now. He's old and hot, and everyone's freaking out about it. And I mean, I respect it.
It's got a chainsaw now.
He had the chainsaw.
Yeah.
He used the chainsaw. I was cheering at that. I was
cheering at the kick.
That.
That's when I was like, all right, we're so back. This is it. No, none more of that Resident Evil 8 fake Chris stuff. Okay, we're in the real world now.
It was so funny because my partner is a gigantic like Resident Evil 4 enjoyer. Like she loves Leon. Mm. And I heard the hooting and hollering from the other room.
I mean, no, I'm stoked too. Like it looks fantastic. I'm very excited for this game. Like this was not a well-kept secret. Like all this like Leon being in the game leaked like 4 months ago or some shit, but it's nice to see him. I like to see Leon.
It's been decades and he still has that same fucking haircut.
Hey, when if it works for him still. And then they also gave a release date for Pragmata, and also revealed that it's going to be on Switch 2, which
hooray.
Sure. They released a demo on PC, and I actually did play that. So I could talk about this for a sec. I thought it was great. It's pretty simple, where it's a third person, over the shoulder shooter, but the little girl on your back can like hack the robots to make them reveal weak points, basically, and it works way better than I thought it would. Where I do think that the game plays a lot better on controller. Like I tried it with mouse and keyboard, but I just liked how it felt better with the controller. Because you'll, like left trigger, right trigger for shooting, but then you could like left trigger, aim at the robot, and then you press like other buttons, like the face buttons, to move the hacking like thing around to get extra points to do extra damage. Or sometimes you'll pick up little like yellow items that will, like you pick the items up in the world, and then when you do a hacking mini game, there will be like a yellow square in there to, you can like go over it, and then it'll be like, oh, that will make it so when you hack this robot, it spreads to other robots, or this will do more damage when you finish the hack or whatever, like that kind of stuff. And I thought it felt really good. Yeah, definitely like you want to do it on controller. And my computer isn't like super beefy, and I fiddled with stuff. They did a good job of like straight up just being like, hey, this is how much memory you have before it's going to start causing trouble. So you can turn this on and turn this off, and then, make it look as good as you care for it to look while still running well. And I appreciated that because I bumped it up to like mid graphics instead of like all the way at the bottom, and it didn't look like amazing, but it looked good enough. And I'm sure that that's probably how it'll look on Switch 2, maybe a little bit better. But it ran perfectly. So, the Switch 2 version will probably be fine. But, if you want it to look nice, you'll want to probably just get it on PlayStation or Xbox or PC. But I really liked it. I really liked that demo. The characters are, they're cute. They're just kind of going back and forth with each other. Yes, I dig it. I dug it quite a bit. And Crystal saying, are 2012 third-person shooters coming back? That is the thing that I walked away from that game from being like, I mean this in the nicest way possible. It feels like an like a Capcom Xbox 360 game, but like better. Like it feels like a Lost Planet, Dead Rising 2 kind of era Capcom that, but better, but and not to say that those games are bad, because I do really I love Dead Rising, don't get me wrong, but it feels like that era of Capcom, but they have learned a lot from what they have done since then. So I'm all for it. I'm absolutely picking up Pragmata. I'm very excited about that.
Glad to hear it.
Is there anything else that you all wish to shout out?
Honestly, no. I think aside from those key things, like the funny thing is like the one game that I had to like look for, like by name, was that Saros game.
Oh yeah.
Because I genuinely thought for a split second that it was a sequel to not Dead Space.
Oh, Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
No, that our game already has a sequel. You can go play it.
I mean, that game's probably going to be good though, because it's Housemarque and their stuff is good. So
there was just also like a lot of sci-fi this year that all had like the same like Death Stranding to Callisto Protocol exosuit like visual language, and it all just kind of blended together for me.
Yeah, Pragmata definitely stands out, like, because you have the girl, you know, because she's wearing like brighter colors and she's not just
girl.
Yeah, she's a small child and not a grizzled dude. I mean, the dude doesn't sound too grizzled. Like that was something that I really liked, was that he is just kind of like he's not being like overly friendly with her, but he's just like, kiddo, we gotta figure this out, you know, thanks for helping me out, you know, like it felt very human. Their dialogue felt very human, so that was something that I really liked about Pragmata. Yeah, he was a chill guy. I liked that. They did announce that there's a new Ace Combat. I know a lot of Ace Combat freaks are flipping the fuck out, which good for them, you know?
I hope this dog is there.
I mean, I don't...
Our good friend over there.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Our good friend PNG Dog.
Lenny Kravitz is the villain of 007 First Light, which is really fucking funny. Sure. And then is there? Oh yeah. I guess one other thing that we can discuss, because I think this kind of leans into you two's over, as it were. A Stupid Never Dies, which I hate saying that name, but it's the new game from like the folks that, or at the very least the producer or director for Dragon's Dogma and DMC5, who left Capcom. And it's just a character action game of some sort. How are y'all feeling about that?
Ugh.
Yeah. The gameplay looked fine, but it feels... Okay, say what Lily said earlier about Juice. I gotta say, an aesthetic like that and the sensibilities within do a lot to poison the juice, as it were.
Yeah.
Like, if a Judgment Cut was a stinky zombie throwing up, I'm like, I don't think that's as cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's almost trying to do, like, does anyone remember, like, Sunset Overdrive? It kind of looks like it's trying to do that.
I was thinking, like, really, it just reminded me of Oni Chanbara, which, like...
That's true.
Or
that's
Lollipop Chainsaw, too, especially.
That's what my friend thought it was immediately. I was like, no.
No, because if it was Lollipop Chainsaw, then they would be talking about how
she's unwoke
it is now, or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. It's really one of those things where I won't know how specifically to feel until I get my hands on it. It might be the best action game since DMC5, but I will also say that I fucking hate looking at it.
Yeah, I really... Yeah. That was like one of the most unappealing trailers I've seen in a hot minute. Like, I was really like, ooh.
Yeah, like, having that entire first, not even first half, it's maybe, like, the first 75% of that trailer being that, like, weird music video thing, and then being like, okay, here's actual gameplay for the last 25%. It's like, just show me this. I don't care.
Or, like, at least lead with it or something. I don't, like...
Yeah, or just, mix it in more or something. Like,
They're like, you guys love when Makima's mean to him, right? Here's the game. Get hype.
Ugh. That's just all I have. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
Okay.
Anything else that you wish to bring up from the Game Awards, or shall we move
I don't know
on?
anything about it, but I'm mildly interested in that Warlock game that they're making. They barely showed anything about it, but they were like, hey, you're a Warlock. And I'm like, I like being a Warlock. That's fun. You know? I don't know.
I do want to be a Warlock. That's true.
Looking it up, and it's just...
Yeah.
Do I have great news for you? I'm giving out packs at an all-time discount.
I will gladly take you up on that offer. Easiest decision of my life.
Easy as that to become a Warlock.
Why isn't everyone a Warlock? This is stupid. Everyone's guy who's about to be burned in hell for some reason.
I'm just looking. Okay. One last thing. Negoshi's new game.
Best name ever of all time. Maybe.
Gang of Dragons.
So fucking good. I really like the people kept saying it, but it's true. It's like there were people who were like, all right, come on, it's not everything's Yakuza. And then he walks out from the Kamurocho gate and it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Okay, oopsie poopsie.
The name of that game is like the fucking upper cereal boxes at the grocery store. They really hit it with the generic, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want do you want Rice Krispie treats, or do you want dragon shavings? Like, I don't fucking know. Like,
this is the cereal that they sell you in a bag.
Monkey squares or something, you know, like.
No, that's gonna be the Wukong ripoff later.
Yeah, the thing that people are excited about is that it stars Ma Dong-seok, who is a pretty prolific action star for like Korean action films. I saw like one scene of him punching a guy so hard that his skull went through a windshield, which is pretty hype. I will say. He looks pretty badass. But I did walk away from it just being like, all right, he looks cool, but how kind is this man? You know, like
would he help a sickly child win toys out of the claw machine?
Yeah, I need to see him like doing stupid ass sub stories before I can really feel it. But then I also walked away from that just being like, but also like, do I just want other Kiryu? Do I just want other Ichiban? It's like it the whole thing feels weird. Like, I know that we're like feeling weird about, you know, the Like a Dragon franchise because of all the stuff that's going on with the 3 remake, but at the same time, it's just like they're just gonna do Kiryu again, but it's a different guy. When we've been complaining all this time about them not moving away from Kiryu in the original series, even though like Ichiban is a great character, and also like, you know, I love Kiryu and all that, and it's just like, you know, they're getting to having Ichiban, you know, really take up that mantle, but then it's like, okay, here's this new legally distinct Yakuza, and it's just going to be Kiryu again, except now he's a wide guy. It's like, you know, sure, but dream a little, maybe, I guess, you know?
I mean, in a way, both Ichiban and Kiryu have this odd kind of trait about them where they are characters that exist to be video game protagonists. Mm-hmm. And you could argue, yes, all video game protagonists exist to be video game protagonists, but shut up, wise ass, hear me out. The point is that they are so good at bringing you into the scenarios that the game is interested in. Like, Kiryu is a big, muscular, dumb, big-hearted man who's good at being tricked, and that's really good for establishing the plots of Yakuza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Ichiban is a weird-ass dude with a heart of gold who is also really good at being tricked. Like, arguably better than Kiryu at being tricked, but, you know.
He's so good at being tricked.
So good at he believes anything you tell him. Like,
he was in prison for even longer, right, than Kiryu, wasn't he?
Something like that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he ate the bread, and that's all I know about that.
There was guitar in that bread.
The most realistic bread ever. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I would love for it to be something a bit more different, but we'll see. Let's talk about what we've been up to though, because we can do so now. Rose, how about we start with you?
Hi.
What is a game that you have been playing?
So I'll have a review at some point this week, maybe by the time this audio is up for it. But I played Angeline Era, which is a bump combat game from some of the creators of Anodyne. Do you know what that means, John?
Bump combat. So it is like there's a few that come to mind. Tower of Duraga, Ys, or perhaps even For the Frog the Bell Tolls.
Great. See, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's a football RPG.
So yeah, Angeline Era is like a game from, if you know what Anodyne is like, those games are very like kind of like 3D Zelda-ese with some more surrealist sensibilities, for lack of a better term. And this is very much in that vein, though more, like a bump combat thing. So, you're going around through levels, tiny, tiny little levels that are like, like 2 to 4 minute long levels. And then you fight some bosses that are pretty complex with some weird mechanics and stuff like that. And you just go around a big world map doing things. It starts out very video gamey, where all you just do is kind of just go around and do the levels, but it gradually escalates into a very surrealist story and narrative, which is very in line with this developer's previous works, but still surprising nonetheless when you get to it. I like it for the most part. I think it has some issues with readability, which is kind of a bump combat. That's what turns people off of bump combat sometimes, is like you really have to know where you're aiming, where you're going, like making sure that you're, in movement or you get hit, or like, hey, making sure that you can dodge the things that you're seeing. And this one has like some issues in the sense of like, I'm sure it's really good for the speedrunners and sickos, but for someone who doesn't want to do a speedrunning sicko lifestyle, it felt like a lot of the bosses are like, oh god, memorize the pattern or else you die forever a million times. I tried playing on hard for a little bit, but hard mode immediately disables healing of any kind. So I was like,
any kind, jeez.
And there's already not that much healing in the game. There's basically health orbs that drop from enemies you kill sometimes. You can't really guarantee it. Or there's a artifact you can buy later in the game that converts damage dealt to you into healing for a little bit. But those have limited uses. There's no potions of any kind. There's no like break a vase and get a healing thing for the most part or anything like that. So you're kind of just raw dogging it. That can be tough for a lot of people. I think we are kind of in the potions meta of action games right now, more than ever, possibly, between Dark Souls and, things like that inspiring people. Like, if it's not Dark Souls, it's Hollow Knight, right? Where you hold down the button and use a gauge to heal yourself. So not having access to any healing tools can feel a little weird, but it's not that bad. The game is very, very frenetic and fast. So it's just like, when I saw there were like 4 difficulties above hard, and hard was like, hey, I turned off healing, I was like,
What are you doing? What are you,
scary.
What is changing here that makes it even worse?
So if you're a pervert, they don't even say, by the way, that's what I really like, is like one of them is called like Mellow's Trick, which is Mellow's one of the developers. And then there's the Honey Tawny Challenge, which is another developer. And they're just like, hey, you see what happens. And I'm like, I'm too scared. I'm sorry. I'm too scared. But I had fun on normal. It was totally easy. It was kind of pretty easy on normal, but it was better than the alternative, I would say. So I think it's enjoyable on normal just to see like what they're going for. It has a really interesting aesthetic of just low poly 3D. Like Anodyne is like that, so of course this is like that too. But it's isometric, so it's cool. It's presented in 4:3, which I think is cute.
Yeah.
It has a lot of really fun dialogue. I really liked how it actually had a lot of Bible stuff in it. It has a combination of Christian, Buddhist, and just Celtic folklore all within it. And it's really interesting seeing all of those mash up against each other. And I really like how it's not like a Bible game. It's way more like, hey, this is a character who knows the Bible exists, sort of, which is really interesting because it just like you get a lot of weird quotes and stuff like that, and concepts of talking about, you know, more interesting esoteric things. That's what made me. I was thinking about how like whenever anyone sees a Bible verse about a dragon, they're like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, no, there's so many of these. There's so many of these Bible verses about dragons and weird creatures.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I think it might be a little. I think the structure might actually hurt it in some ways. Where I kind of wish it had like half of the levels available to you when you're going through the main campaign, and then maybe a secondary mode where you can just go through a bunch of levels for fun. Because you kind of get to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, I don't need to go through a whole nother map before I see more story stuff. I would kind of just like to have more story stuff. And the ending is very, very linear for a couple hours. That it's like, you know, we could have just maybe made this like a 15-hour game instead of a 30-hour game. And just made that other 15 hours like separate fun mode or something. I don't know. But it's really interesting. I like the way it fools around with gameplay. It's constantly switching around like Nier, you know, styles, switching between like isometric, side view, stuff like that. And then there's this really standout moment where you just go into an entire like roguelike mining game where you like just go mining for a while with its own currency and no combat and all this other stuff that's like, oh, this is cute and charming. And this is kind of what this is what I love about video games, is when a developer really just comes up with a stupid idea and is like, you know what, let's fucking do it, let's just put it in here, why not? And I really liked it.
I do genuinely love when like a game will just have like this weird micro game not connected to the other stuff. Because like, okay, it can get a little overwhelming when a game adds like 7-10 different gameplay mechanics, knowing that it's like, oh no, this is the area defined by fishing. We're not adding a fishing system. This is just the fishing area. I love that
because it's like you're already creating a gameplay gimmick for each world in a world-based game like this, right? So it's like, yeah, fuck it. Why not go crazy with it if it's just for this world, and then you can forget about it after. Yeah, so it's very charming. Very good music. Very good music. You know, the Ys games are kind of, people like their music, and I would say it's very much in line of that. It has a very ephemeral tone to it that makes it very charming, especially with the low poly. I think, you know, those damn kids would say liminal, but it's like, it has those vibes of just like a very like, oh, this is like a weird place and it's very quiet and peaceful, even though I'm killing, you know, bugs or whatever the hell. But it's just like, you know, look at the cool skybox I made. Look at the cool hills and everything. It has this weird mechanic where you find all the levels by going around a world map, and you hold down an investigation button on spots that look weird, and then there'll be like, you'll go through like this little like first person mini game, like a WarioWare ass mini game, to just find the level. And then when you're in a level, you can also investigate just spots that look weird at any time to find hidden items, or like maybe secret teleporter things that take you out of bounds and stuff like that. And I really like all that stuff too. There is this funny thing where anytime you find a cross, because again, they have the Bible stuff. Anytime you find a cross, if you look down in the middle of it, it will be like, hey, do you want to take a break? And then it will cut to a bespoke like camera angle of the dude chilling out in the environment from like a different angle than the, you know, play state is in, which is cool. I like that. It's a game that has a lot of soul to it. It just feels like the people who made it really liked making it, and they had a lot of ideas.
All right. Lily, how about you? What have you been playing?
Okay, this is where I explain why I'm in the grotto.
Okay.
So here is where I explain the reason for the grotto. So, do either of you remember the interesting little indie hit Arctic Eggs?
I just saw someone playing that recently.
So I am playing I had played the developer's new game about fishing that I was brought into the playtest for.
Ooh.
And, okay, so if you liked like the super hyper nuanced, like tactile feel of like flipping the pan around, About Fishing is, well, about fishing, but it's also a Twin Peaks-esque murder mystery game told through the lens of fishing.
Oh, yes. Yes. I think I looked into this.
And you play in the alpha. She gets aged up in the actual game. You play as basically a little girl that has, I don't want to say supernatural, but the first thing you do see in the game is like literally a fucking mermaid. So maybe it's supernatural, but she has like a supernatural ability to control her little fishing rod. And the whole of the alpha is you're on a little beach with your extremely strange and off-putting Pep, and he's basically forcing you to fish for him. And the carrot at the end of the stick is he is going to give you curly fries if you give him enough fish.
I could go for some curly fries. That sounds good.
You play for like, I want to say like 30, 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden, Grandpa just kind of goes, "Don't go wandering off, by the way, because kids died in this lake, by the by." And then you're like, "Okay, Grandpa, I'm going to just keep fishing." And eventually he goes, "Hey, them there fish seem to be trying to show you something. Why don't you take one of the fish out of the box?" At which point you can put the fish back on the hook and basically psychically control the fish to swim somewhere else. And this is the part where I got really, really upset because I got goaded into playing this by my partner. And we know at this point there's a whole stream series about how bad I am at being spooked. And you have to go basically underwater to a really long, really dark cave with horrible sounds in it. And then you get like jump scared by, spoilers, Laura Palmer's dead body who grabs you out of the water despite being dead.
Yeesh.
And the thing that I thought immediately was super cool about this game is, frankly, it looks gorgeous. I love the uncanniness where it has all of these like limited polys, but the textures they're putting over top are these beautiful like photorealistic like textures. So it creates this strange almost like FMV dissonance where the characters look both like grounded and almost unsettling at the same time. And the thing that's really, really interesting is a lot of people back in the day were giving like The Last of Us like a lot of praise for its rope, right? Because in video games it is really, really hard to make like a really skilled like rope simulation. This game does that with like a fishing line. So there are times where you will catch a fish and then you need to literally drag it back between all of the rocks and all of the weeds and everything. But then you also have to do that while dealing with the anxiety of, oh, there's supernatural dead people in the lake that I'm fishing from.
Okay. That does sound very neat, though.
We're seeing a wave of fishing games that are just like, fuck it, let's just do something. Like there's that other, I guess that's not fishing, never mind. But there's Dredge. There's my easy cop-out answer.
There's Dredge, there's that one Eldritch fishing game that's in first
that's
person,
what I was thinking
where like the fish get more, yeah. And this is really interesting because a lot of fishing minigames don't do it for me. Because ultimately, a lot of fishing minigames are just kind of like, you wait until there's an exclamation mark over your character's head and you hit the button and then you have the fish. This game is all about like the tiny little intricacies of moving the fish around the water, and you have to avoid snapping the line, but then also the fish can get tangled and stuff, and it feels really good in the kind of way that like Arctic Eggs felt good. But for me, the gameplay scope was limited enough that once I beat it, I was kind of like, okay, that was cool. This, because it is both a fishing game and a murder mystery, it is this really strange, like, combination of different factors that if they include a lot of like really interesting different ways of using the fishing line, I think it could be a really, really cool game.
I'm definitely going to...
So you said that you're in like an alpha for it or something, right?
Yes, I was in the playtest.
Okay.
I'm interested in this.
So you will, I guess, see how it transpires once it's
I
out.
wasn't crazy about Arctic Eggs. Really, it's kind of too. I don't know how to put it. Simplistic is the wrong word to use, but kind of for my tastes, you know.
It's narrow
exactly.
in its scope.
And I respect it, obviously, but I do like everything I'm looking at this game store page. It seems really interesting, and I really like when people take the things that they learn from other games, which I assume in this case would kind of be the more weird tactile nature, as you said, with like the rope style stuff.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because it almost uses an identical control scheme to Arctic Eggs. So, like, you have the middle mouse, which makes it so it increases or decreases the sensitivity of, like, your fishing rod. And so rather than the mini game of fishing being like, you know, pull on the fish to get it to come to you, when you catch the fish, it sinks the camera into the water, and your goal to make it to go to you is to manipulate the fish in 3D space with your mouse to point it at the player character on the shore. The reason I think this is really cool, especially for a game that is going for like maybe a somewhat scary survival-y or like horror-y kind of vibe, you can see yourself on the shore while you're fishing. You can see that the world state keeps moving behind you. So the thought that you could be fishing and you're wrestling with this fish and then you can suddenly go, oh god, who's behind me?
Ooh, yeah.
The potential is there to be very, very scary.
That's
and
cool.
To scare the pants off of gamers, me.
For sure.
Yeah, that sounds great. I was thinking the other game I was thinking of that's not a fishing game, for some reason I conflated it, was that that delivery service game. I can't remember the name of it, but it has that same Easy Delivery.
Easy
Thank
Delivery
you.
Company.
And I like that sort of, you know, vibe it has as well.
Like it does kind of have like that weird, almost Silent Hill kind of vibe where it feels like the world stops existing like a dozen feet from you.
Yeah.
I do also have invites if you would be curious to try it, Rose.
Oh, please. Please, please, please.
I got
Thank you.
Very nice. Do we want to do some more? You know, we'll do some more because you know
have to go off.
I'm going to take a turn here. I do. So, within the past week, 2 DLCs came out for 2 separate monster collecting games, RPGs, and one of them was good, and one of them was poopy, pee poo poo bad. So I'll talk about the bad one first, because they did the Time Stranger DLC. And so I did buy the full season pass for it, because I do wish to play through all of the stuff. I want to see what happens. But that DLC sure was like an hour and a half long, and cost like $10, and it added like 6 new Digimon.
So you're saying Capcom isn't the only one who's going back to the 2012 lifestyle?
Yeah, I would say so. And the whole plot is that you get sucked into a pocket dimension, basically, where you fight Parallelmon, who is an extremely obscure Digimon that I think was originally in the manga that I read a bit ago, in a spin-off chapter where the version of Tai from the anime teams up with the version of Tai from the manga. Or was it... Or no. Was it that chapter? Or was... Okay, it's either that chapter, or there's also a chapter where Davis from Season 2 gets sucked into the world. I think it is that, actually, yes. And because they both have Vmon. That's the gimmick, you know? Because in the manga, he's got the Vidramon, and then Davis has the Vmon that, like, armor digivolves. So they do different things, but they have the same base form. Isn't that cute? But yes, they pulled this fucking guy from, like, a single chapter of of a manga from, like, 15, 20 years ago, which is kind of funny. But then they don't really do anything about it because they're just like, okay, well, here is... They make a reference to a character, Captain Karemi, who, if you've played Cyber Sleuth, you will know that Kyoko Karemi is the detective lady that you work with, who, and I say this with all the love in my heart, this is not a put down, this is just the truth, who is Kyoko from Danganronpa, but a bit slutted up. And again, much respect. She's great. She's fun. I love Kyoko Karemi. And she there's like an alternate universe version of her, and her dad is working for like the police in this universe, in the Time Stranger universe. And you get pulled into this alternate dimension and you interact with her, but she's from a different universe than you're from.
Oh, okay.
So you're not even interacting with the Kyoko that, like, exists in your universe or the one that exists in the Cyber Sleuth universe. It's just a completely separate one that then has, like, similar issues that the one that is from your universe has. But then it just cheapens it because it's just like, okay, but you're still not interacting with her. You're interacting with another universe that you're never going to interact with again. It's just... I don't understand what they were doing. Yeah, it just felt like nothing, because it was basically just like, she has problems with her dad, because her dad's very busy being a police officer, and then he rescues her because he goes, I want to help the Digimon because they have families too, just like me. And then she's like, okay, I guess I'm more chill with my dad, even though I still have problems with him. And then that's it. Because then you fight Parallelmon, and then they go, well, you defeated that Parallelmon, but there might be other Parallelmon out there, aka there's 2 more DLC packs, so you're just gonna fight Parallelmon again in the next 2 DLC packs. And also, since my team is fully leveled up because I beat the game already, it's not like I had any trouble with any of the DLC stuff, so it wasn't really like a challenge or anything. I don't know. It just, it wasn't like complete and total dog shit, but it was just one of those things where it was like, it didn't really add anything to anything. Like, maybe if it was actually canon Kyoko in some way and it actually tied back into Cyber Sleuth, or if it meant anything at all, maybe. Like, so much of this game just undercuts itself by trying to do too much with, like, alternate dimensions and alternate timelines, and because they keep doing that, it just takes the teeth out of anything that actually happens in the story, which is a big bummer. But then, Pokemon Legends ZA added its DLC, and I don't think it's, like, groundbreaking amazing, but it's a big step up from Time Stranger, and I think it's a good time. I'm still hopping on and doing it here and there. They introduced the Mega Dimension, which is an alternate, like mirror version of Lumiose that sort of like ebbs and flows in. And I haven't gotten to the point where they fully reveal what is going on, but it's Darkrai. It's really obviously just Darkrai because they immediately are like, it's almost like this is a dreamlike version of Lumiose City that, maybe people are dreaming about, and it's reflecting how they feel about Lumiose. And so it's like, okay, so it's Darkrai. Okay. Because for those of you who don't know Pokemon, Darkrai is the Pokemon that has like dominion over nightmares and dreams and stuff. So, so the basic gist of it is that you go to the hotel. There's a little girl who they also very quickly reveal is Diantha's daughter, who is the champion of Gen 6, X and Y. So that's cute. She had a kid. And she's like, hey, I'll make donuts for you. And you can feed these donuts to Hoopa, who is another Pokemon who's like a genie that can throw its hoops, because it's got like hoop earrings and it throws the hoops, and then that can connect to the other dimension. And depending on the kind of donut that you feed to Hoopa, that attributes certain things to your run in the alternate dimension. So, basically, like, you can feed it a certain... The basic things that it does is it boosts your level and it gives you more time in the alternate dimension. But then there's other things that you can do once you level up your donut making abilities basically more. You can raise... it's a lot like the sandwiches in Scarlet and Violet, where it'll be like, it can boost catch rates, it can boost encounter rates, it can boost the power of certain types, it can increase shiny odds, it can increase the odds of alphas spawning, that kind of stuff. So you can do all that stuff, and then you just hop in. There's new Pokemon that they added, so those new Pokemon usually spawn inside of the alternate dimension. So you'll go in and catch stuff there, do some other little side missions and stuff. That's also where all the new Mega Pokemon are, because they added a bunch of new Mega Stones. And I haven't finished it, but most of the new Megas are pretty cool. I really like the design for most, if not all of them. Some of them, their like new stats aren't great, but like Mega Scovillain looks really cool. It's not good, but it looks cool. Mega Goliskopod is really fucking strong. I'm interested to see what happens with Goliskopod in competitive now. There's just a lot of stuff going on with that, and it's neat. You're just doing like it's kind of like roguelike kind of things where you're just jumping in, doing some tasks and coming out. It's like a quick loop thing, and there's also like alternate universe like the how at night they have the big battle events. They have that too, and all it really is it's just they have higher level Pokemon, because the big crazy thing about this is that when you're in the alternate dimension, Pokemon can be over level 100. And so that does attribute a lot of the difficulty to it, because even though like my team is all level 100s, if I don't boost their levels a whole bunch or enough by using a donut to, that, because it'll say like, when you make the donut, it'll say like, plus 20 levels, and then plus, you can stay in the alternate dimension for 10 minutes, just for example. If you don't boost your levels enough when you go into a harder level, like run, you're just going to get your ass beat. Like, no matter how good your stats are, how good your moveset is. And yeah, like, I'm not like constantly losing, but I've lost a couple of fights, even though my team is like fully EV trained, IV trained, perfect movesets and all that. Like, I'm still, having friction, and that's exciting. That's fun to be like, yeah, I'm not just bulldozing this DLC. It's a challenge here and there. So that's really fun. I do enjoy it. A lot of people are very pissed because of how they're doling out the new Pokemon, which I kind of get it, because it'll be like, oh yeah, here's like a wormhole that has ground type Pokemon, and it's like, they added like Palossand, and stuff like that, like the ghost the ghost sandcastle Pokemon. And it's like, if you want that, you just have to get lucky to, roll a portal that has that Pokemon in it.
This is what they did in fucking Omega Ruby too, wasn't it? It's the same.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of people that are just like, I have to reset over and over to find this Pokemon that I want, and I'm just kind of like, or you could just find it when you find it, like, just play the game. It's fine. It's people that are just trying to eat it up as fast as possible that are having a lot of the trouble with it. I think it's decent, like, I'm not gonna say like this is an amazing gameplay loop that has revolutionized Pokemon forever. Like, I think it's nice, but it's not like incredible, and it's good, like, I'm happy that I got the DLC. I'm not done with it. I think I'm like maybe like 3/4 of the way through, I want to say. They also add a bunch more side missions, because they also added a bunch of new moves to all the Pokemon too. So you're, doing new side missions to just be like, oh yeah, this guy gives you a Mimic TM. This guy gives you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They do a very good job of weaving the new Pokemon into. Like, one of my favorite side missions was this guy who is like, hey, his intro is really funny, because he just stares at you for like a full minute and then goes, do you ever feel like people are staring at you? And you're like, yeah, you, man. You do. You are. And then he's like, well, okay, what I mean is that my new neighbor just moved in, and she has a Tinkaton, or a Tinkatink, or whatever, whatever the middle one is, I think. And he keeps staring at my Scizor. And my Scizor is very shy. And then it just like pans over to the Scizor, and the Scizor's just like, it's so cute. It's just like this like, fucking Scizor, this like badass metal bug, is just like all sad and scared. And they're like, he's like, I don't want to start anything with my neighbor, but if its Pokemon keeps staring at my Scizor, we're gonna have a problem. And so you have to like go back and forth between them to like mediate a neighbor, like, like a neighbor struggle, basically just being like, yeah, my pet doesn't like your pet. And it's cute, it feels like something that would really happen in the Pokemon world, because it's something that happens in real life all the time, where it's just like, yeah, your dog keeps barking at my dog, can you tell it to stop? And then, you have to, introduce them, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, yeah, that's realistic. It was fun, and it was just really fun being like, oh yeah, no, here's this fucking Scizor, this Pokemon that you think of as a badass, like, kick-ass bug that is just cool, and it's like, no, this one's just like a shy guy who's just, he's scared. It's cute. So yeah, I like it quite a bit.
I'm glad.
And it continues to highlight how good the cast is in ZA as well. Because they do take a lot of time to like mash characters together that didn't interact that much in the story, which I really like. Like, there was a whole bit where like one of the Team Flare characters, Giselle, I think her name is, right? I think so, yeah. Like, goes to the fancy hotel to like talk shit to Jacinth, because she heard that Jacinth like talk trash about their cafe, like that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, it's cute. Like, it makes it feel more lived in. Very fun stuff. I like ZA a lot, and I like the DLC quite a bit.
I do think they figured out how to start writing characters once they did Sun and Moon, and then it just keeps getting better each subsequent time. Like, Sword and Shield has issues, but it still has very vivid characters, right? Like, and then Scarlet and Violet has extremely.
Just a little bit more time, and you might have a game that you can sell me to get me into Pokemon. They're gonna drag me down with them. I haven't been infected yet.
I think that I think that ZA is the closest to it for sure, because like we've definitely talked about those, like the big problem with Pokemon games is sort of presenting a concept and then not really following through with what they're like with what they're doing with like urban redevelopment and stuff in this game, and it feels like they're like mildly hinting at the issues that are involved with that and then don't really pull the trigger on it. Like everyone bringing up the like the benches having the anti-homeless armrest things, and it's like it feels like that is something that is there to say something about how urban redevelopment and the controlling aspects of like a city wanting to look better by getting rid of, instead of actually taking care of people or Pokemon in this case, just shoving them aside. It feels like they're trying to say something, but then they just don't actually say something, and it's just like, okay, well now it's just like it's just there. So yeah. But it's still a good game. I still do really like it. All right, Rose, you do one more, and Lily, you do one more, and then we'll do some more news. How does that sound? Go ahead, Rose. Right. Go ahead.
Here I can do two because these are really quick. One will be really quick. One is I keep playing the Lone Fungus game. The second one, Melody of Spores. I talked about that a little bit last time. The more I get into it, I'm only playing a little bit at a time, but it has a lot of really great Metroidvania features that I think should become universal. I told you to play Ender Magnolia, John, and a big part of that was
yes.
I think it has a lot of really, really good features. It has the difficulty slider stuff that a lot of modern games has. It has, like some window stuff you can adjust. It has a thing that I love, where the whole like sections of a map will fill in with color if you have the item that's hidden somewhere in there. So it's like you can very easily tell when you've missed something in a room because it's a different color than everything else. But like it's more minute than that. It's like the map is drawn, so they do a good job with that stuff. This game does something similar where if you get to a room and you can't progress because it's a game with a lot of movement tools, it will immediately mark the map and say you can't do anything right now. And I really like that because there are so many times in a game with a lot of movement like Prince of Persia or Hollow Knight Silksong, I will get to a place and I will think I can do something because you can do so much movement or whatever. Like it's like, no, I just need to do it perfectly or something like that. That having it textually tell me, don't do this, stop, just go is really nice. And I like all the map marking. Like that has the screenshot feature in that game. You can do like the Prince of Persia one too. I've just been finding it like a really well put together game, really thoughtful, really interesting. I've now that I've unlocked the super hard platforming challenges that are more in line with the original game, they're still easier than the original game, but I like that they're still here because there is something about like really hard and precise platforming challenges where you don't have to worry about health or anything. It's really nice to like, because I like doing platforming challenges. I don't so much like when it's like, oh, and now you have to go fight a guy immediately after you finish the challenge and you die, which is a lot of people's problem with Silksong, I know, but it makes it feel good. It's a good it's just a well-balanced game. I'm very impressed by it. I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
And I also started Skate Story, which just came out. That's the game where you play as a glass demon on a skateboard who is trying to eat the moon. I think it's very charming. I have never played any skate games. I have to just come out and say it, like full stop. I have not played Tony Hawk's. I have not played Skates. I have not played any of that stuff. But I like this. The controls are a little weird to get used to. I don't know if that's how the Tony Hawk games are, where you like hold down L1 and then press a different button, or R2 and press another button or something.
It's not 1-to-1.
So that took a little bit of getting used to, but I really like it. The music's really nice. The visuals are really cute. I actually think the writing is pretty funny at times. I really like the opening is basically you go through the whole process of eating the damn moon, and then you get arrested and put into like some sort of dimension by like Plato statue named the Philosopher. And he's like, hey, just do some challenges or whatever. And then you just do those challenges. And in this process, you're like getting him like an Arizona iced tea. And then he's just like this floating statue with just like slowly sipping an Arizona in the background. And I really liked that. And then when you finally like finish that section of the game, it's just him very slowly being like, but what if you did a combo, red text combo? And then it's just like you do like a combo and he's just like, dear God, this is incredible. And I just really like the tone of it all, of just like by the end of it, he's like, I see now. I understand. Skating is really fucking cool. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I think it's really easy to play, and it's very distinctly itself, which is something I just said I liked about that other game, and similar here. It's like they really went for it, you know? They really went for it. I like that you're just a glass creature, and then you have really cool sneakers, and then you're wearing your contract with the devil that lets you skate as a scarf. It's cool.
It definitely adds a lot to bailing and fucking up anything where you just immediately shatter into a million
and
pieces.
It goes into like a first person.
One sympathizes.
It's really cool. I think it's like, that's what it's all about. These skating games, they should all be about aesthetic. That's why I was kind of unimpressed by that new skate game, because it was like, oh no, you're designed for
you and everybody else.
But it's like, you're designed for the fucking people who finish the battle pass to get X skin, not thing that actually meaningfully looks cool, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun.
I will.
No, I was saying fun. That's all I was saying.
I will say that I am someone who plays like a lot of like, because I'm all about the schmovement. I love being able to move in ways that are like unorthodox but become fluid once you get used to it. I have had my eye on it. Like in terms of like, because again, I know quite little on this one. So you basically said it is like, is it like modifier buttons?
Yes.
That like change tricks?
It'll be like you hold down L1 to put both feet on the ground, and then you can press like circle to do a specific thing, and the timing in which you do that will change it, or the direction you're facing and stuff like that. Or you like hold down R2 to do a kick flip, but then you can modify that with different buttons and stuff like that.
I mean, if you like that, I mean, you might like the older skate games.
I know, everyone's
honestly.
always telling me to play Tony Hawk.
I know.
I'm like, maybe someday.
Well, Tony Hawk, like the old ones, are way more arcadey. Like they are the kinds of games where it's a trick per button. Whereas I know people made the joke back in the day, but like Skate is like the Assassin's Creed of skating games, because it's each button is like an extremity. And so the fun thing about games like that is like if you like the kinds of games where you can make yourself look like a total doofus, Skate.
It's a compelling case. I've always wanted to try it, but there's no achievements for the first one. No, there probably is. I don't know. Yeah. I think here's my real problem is I have a lot of trouble with games that aren't linear in some respect. And that's kind of why I think I've stayed away from that in the Tony Hawks. I know they're linear after a fashion, right? You're going into levels, you're doing things, you're doing whatever in a certain order and trying to accomplish certain goals. But this one specifically really gets away with it by just being levels, chapters or whatever. And it's like, oh, there is narrative, there is a push, you're seeing some sort of new visually interesting location. And I think that's always been my disconnect. But I should try to get over it. I should.
I mean, it sounds really cool. At this point, the main thing that was keeping me away from it is I wasn't exactly sure how sophisticated the actual skating part of it was.
It's hard for me to say because I've only done the first chapter kind of so far. So I don't know how crazy it gets, but it does seem like you can do a lot of different tricks because you build up combo and then you like stomp at the end of it to do damage to things. Because you're like fighting concepts and things as you're going. So I can't imagine that they're just like, yeah, for the whole game, just do like these 4 tricks on alternating cycles or something, right? There's going to be some sort of weird thing. So far, they haven't made a big deal about grinding, which is interesting to me, even though you can grind. Like, if you go up to any surface and do an ollie onto it, you'll just start grinding on it. But, it doesn't make a big deal out of it the same way I think a lot of those other skating games do, where like you kind of want to use those as vehicles for doing a trick or something. But I wonder if that changes over time. If there maybe there's a level that's all grinding, I don't know.
I mean, I am a grind
Happy
sicko.
to hear that.
As you should be.
I mean, again, any game can be improved by the presence of adding
Sonic
a grind to it. Like, can you imagine Devil May Cry 6 with grinding?
That'd be pretty good. I mean, and then he could just do the judgment cuts while he's sliding on the rail. And he assumes the stance and he just slides down on the rail and he's just like going,
I need to see Virgil with like the Sonic soap shoes on.
That's got to already be out there somewhere. It has to be.
It has to be.
The demo is apparently still up, Lily, if you want to try it.
Oh, okay. All right. You twisted my arm.
I'm interested in playing more.
But before you do play it, what have you played before now?
Me?
You.
Me. So mine are also quite quick.
Sure.
So I posted about it a bit on Blue Sky, but my life has been taken over by mice and rats. And by that, I mean I've been playing too much Squeak Cross. It's just too much. So I never got that into like the handheld era of like Picross and stuff, like on like the DS. And I know a lot of people who love like those kinds of games.
I love Picross.
Okay, Squeak Cross. I don't know if I talked to you about it at all, John.
Not really, no.
So this game is like a combination between a really, really sophisticated, incredibly helpful like Picross game. Like it gives you all the hint systems, it gives you all of like the support you could possibly need. There's no punishment for messing up. But every time you finish a puzzle, it gives you an item that you can use to decorate your little mouse's apartment.
Aww.
Or give him little accessories. And the interesting thing about it is to pull you along into doing the harder puzzles. If you do the hard version of the original puzzle, it lets you put infinite of that particular item or change the color any way you want.
Oh.
So it's a Picross game kind of combined with the idea of like decorating your Animal Crossing house, almost. And I didn't think that I had the capacity to get addicted to a puzzle game. Like, okay, you can like understand the moment-to-moment catharsis of playing like, I don't know, grinding something out or playing like DMC Bloody Palace for a while. I literally at one point went, I'll just do a couple little puzzles real quick. It'll just be a couple puzzles. And then 4 hours passed.
Oopsie poopsie.
I like making habitat for my little mouse. I'm not usually like
I was going to say the secondary aspect of that as a system rather than the primary one, it gets me every single fucking time. It doesn't matter. Like when those Pokemon games let you put the Pokemon plushies in your stupid house, that didn't even matter. It didn't even matter that your house existed. It still got me.
And it's even cuter because your little mouse who you get to dress up is always there for the puzzles as emotional support. You get to watch him eating little sunflowers and stuff. And if you click on his little forehead, they make a squeak.
Aw.
But if you like Picross at all and you've been like disappointed at the offerings on like PC, this one not only has a buttload of stuff in it, it really is like one of the most supportive Picross games. It gives you a ton of like support. It doesn't punish you or like lower your score or whatever if you need help. It's there if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
It even is considerate enough to have like a dark mode, because I was destroying my eyes playing this game for the first couple of hours. But highly recommend. It's not even that spency.
Good.
The other game I played was, I have very little to say. And I got gifted my friend Pedro, which I'm pretty sure like that's like 2019, I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, something like that.
I know from GameDuel every time.
And so I want to say that there was like this brief period where the weird character action, like side scroller kind of game with a slight gimmick was the du jour for a little while in that period. And I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I'm not going to say that you're dumb if you like this game. But I played it for 30 minutes and I kind of just went, oh, I see why we don't talk about this one anymore. Because it makes me feel a little crazy, because looking at it, it is overwhelmingly positive. And just kind of looking at it, I can see every concept and idea that has been iterated on since. Mm-hmm. While we were doing like the gimmick kind of like combat arena side scroller. And the thing that this game made me think more than anything was just, God, I wish I was playing Katana Zero.
Literally
right
the
now.
comparison point I was going to make is, it's like you think of something like Katana Zero and it's like you have such a visceral base mechanic to engage with on a certain level that they clearly thought about, right? With the dashing and everything. And then it's like with this one, it's like, yeah, you can do the flip, I guess. But it's like, I don't know.
You have the dodge that throws your aim off, which for me was incredibly frustrating. Especially because they want you to use their other gimmick, which is splitting your aim, but they also give you the time slow so leniently you can just shoot them normally, and I didn't really see the point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's me playing the game
I had the same experience when I played it years ago, so...
I just feel like, and the other thing about Katana Zero is like your ability to stop time, to restart time when you die is like part of the story. And okay, I don't mean to be mean, but this game is very holds up spork core, because it's like, your character's vaguely psychotic. They're best friends talking
I know I just talked about a positive Devolver game, but it is a Devolver game, isn't it?
Yes.
So those tend to, especially in that era, be very much in that vein.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what if your character was crazy? No one's ever heard of this before.
What the heck? Huh?
I think this guy might be a couple bananas short of a bushel, you know?
Oh, he's got the nanner disease.
It's kind of epic if you think about it.
He doesn't. It's a little... No, it's not.
Let me tattoo a mustache to my index finger.
All right. The news. We got more news.
We're back to the news.
Back to the news. Arcade 1-Up. Have any of you interacted with an Arcade 1-Up machine in the past?
I'm pretty sure the only place that I have interacted with them, I could be wrong, but honestly, I think a few of the dang like office jobs I used to have had these stupid machines in them instead of like increasing anyone's pay, so I think I resent them personally.
That's understandable. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that Arcade 1-Up has, or had, I guess I should say. I've messed around with a few of their machines. It's basically just an arcade cabinet that is smaller and is basically running like a ROM instead of the actual hardware. And they would usually have online capabilities for multiplayer games and the like they put out like a lot of Capcom fighting games and the like on there. And it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, if you don't have the room for a full-on arcade cabinet, but you still want to have a cabinet of, say, Turtles in Time or Street Fighter 2 or whatever, you could do that. And if you also don't want to spend like 10 grand on it, because I think these were like maybe $1,000 or less at times. Like there was a market for that. I get it. But apparently not anymore, because there hasn't been an official announcement yet, but on an email that got shared on socials, specifically by on Reddit, and then also by Wario64, they're saying here. I'll just read this email here. It'll open up. Yeah, there's just a. I guess they shared it to like their beta testers, and said, "I come to you with news I wish I didn't have to share. Arcade 1-Up is closing operations. For the majority of us, our last day is this coming Friday." So this was from before. So this was this past Friday. Is when this was. I do not know the plans for the arcade systems or the infinity tables, etc., etc. And then there was another post on Reddit. Code Mystics has said the following: "We built a fallback mode into our online code." So okay. So the Code Mystics, I guess, did a lot of the online stuff, and they're pretty much saying that if this is true and they do shut down, that there will be a backup mode for the online, even if the servers are sunset. That will. It says, poor man's matchmaking, like some indie PC games do, where it keeps a directory of the last 100 IPs it has learned of other machines you've played with, and pings them directly to see if they're available. It does have to be manually switched on, and you would need to set up port forwarding on your router to be visible. But enough people have the instructions, they'll be shared if it ever comes to it. So, there's alternate modes to do online if you so choose, but yeah, it's a weird thing, because like there is still kind of a market for this kind of stuff, definitely, I feel, but I think there's a point where maybe they have already done all the games that they could have done that would sell a good amount, and also just the way that the economy is, it's not really feasible for people to be like, oh yeah, I'll drop like $1,000 or $2,000 on an arcade cabinet for one game. Or I mean, some of them have like a few games on there, but it's like, or you could just download them from and run them on like MAME or something like that, and you could play online on something like Fightcade for a lot of these games. So, you know, it's like there isn't really a market right now. Maybe in the future there will be another market for something like this, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's a shame if this did happen, because there isn't actually a full-on confirmation yet, even though apparently the last day was on Friday. I'm still not seeing any official announcement. But yeah, I guess rest in peace Arcade 1-Up. Potentially. Another bit of news here, Deus Ex Remastered. I feel like most of us saw that trailer and kind of walked away from it a little not nonplussed, I suppose. I don't know, do either of you have strong opinions about what they showed of the Deus Ex remaster?
Looked pretty nasty.
Looked bad.
Yeah. It did look pretty bad. Well, it was announced that it is going on ice for the foreseeable future. They have announced that it is delayed indefinitely, just to unspecified date, and that they wish to, quote, deliver the best possible experience for players, so it will not be launching on February.
This was another Aspire one, wasn't it?
Yes. But the really crazy thing is that they aren't just, you know, delaying it and then just, you know, walking. They are also refunding all of the pre-orders that have been made. So that's the part that's like, okay, refunding all the pre-orders. I don't know. That's kind of wild. But yes, this was an Aspire joint. I feel kind of bad for them because like there's parts where it's like their stuff isn't really
it ranges,
great most
right?
of the time,
like sometimes they do that shit like that. They made a Star Wars port for the frickin' Switch that has like servers that you can do crossplay on, right? And that's kind of cool. But then on the flip side, they also have had KOTOR in development hell for 7 years,
which is apparently not their fault, though. I mean, I don't know if you saw that article, which I guess we could talk about that too real quick, just on how they did ports of KOTOR 1 and 2, and they wanted to include the mod for KOTOR 2 that has all the unused content that really wraps the game up, and Disney just like stonewalled them from doing it because they probably just don't understand what they were trying to do. Because they weren't just like trying to, just grab the mod and run. They wanted to attribute everything to the modders and actually include everything there. But yeah, Disney was just like, what? Huh? So it turned like, and then another aspect of it was that because they were behind the scenes trying to get this done, they couldn't say anything publicly. So a bunch of folks did a lawsuit against Aspire for false advertising because they didn't release the DLC, because they were trying to release the DLC, but they just couldn't say anything about it. So the lawsuit made things worse, and so now it's probably never going to happen. And it's just, it sucks. But yeah, I don't know. But we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I mean, I've seen so many people just being like, I hope this means that they're just not going to do it and that they're just going to give it to Night Dive, which would be kind of shitty in a way, but also
the bar of quality
mean for a better product. Yeah, it would probably mean it would actually be a good remaster. So I don't know. To update about the whole Netflix and Warner Brothers bit, Paramount is attempting a hostile offer for Warner Brothers. They are saying that they will give $18 billion more in cash than what Netflix is offering, which, again, is just going to be like fake money. And it also will include Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds, which, according to some reporting that I've seen, is apparently running low. So is this actually going to happen then? Because are they just like, oh yeah, no, the Saudis have our back, and then they're just going to like be like, you have our back, right? And then it's just like, no, we're broke, dude. We are fucking broke over here. Like, yeah. So I don't know what's going on. This whole thing seems like a mess. It's all fake. Money's fake. All this shit is just bad, and it's going to just screw over a bunch of art. And I would just like for this. I did really
like the interview where the Netflix spokesperson said that everyone within Netflix completely forgot that Warner Brothers owned Mortal Kombat, and then they were like, "Oh, right," and it's like, what? You didn't even know? Like, okay.
I love not knowing what I'm buying.
For the largest loan in history.
Yeah, they just straight up like don't care at all about any of the video game aspects, which
Warner Brothers already does.
There's like a humble bundle going right now, which true, yeah. But like, there's a humble bundle going right now for some Warner Brothers games, and like, there a bunch of people were like retweeting or reposting it and just being like, if you want any of these games, you should probably get this humble bundle because there's maybe not, but there's a good chance that these games are just going to get pulled from stores because whoever buys Warner Brothers is just going to not care about re-upping the licenses and shit. It's just like, the fact that people have to worry about that is fucking insane. Like, people shouldn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It's dumb. And our last bit of news here, Katsuhiro Harada. Which, did we talk about this last week? I feel like we talked about Harada last week.
I don't think so. This just happened this week, right? Didn't it?
I need to scroll down and see. Okay.
I was here for the last one. I guess not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then yes. Katsuhiro Harada announced on Twitter that he's going to be leaving Bandai Namco at the end of the year. So in a few weeks. He hasn't fully saying if he's going somewhere else or if he is just retiring, which, retiring would be a reasonable thing for him to do. He's been working on Tekken for 30 years, he said. And, he's been in the industry for longer than that. And he, wrote a big, long thing about how he feels, and, he's been handing over his responsibilities and the like. But yeah, he's gonna be done with Bandai Namco and Tekken at the end of the year. And then he also released a DJ remix on SoundCloud. Like, he just released a DJ mix on SoundCloud to sort of celebrate his leaving, which is beast mode. But yeah, I mean, it's a little sad, but also it's understandable, especially, recently with Itagaki passing, like having your major rival in the field pass away, there's got to be a moment of just being like, I should spend more time with my family, so, I can't say for sure that that's exactly what caused him to do this, especially because he said that he's been handing things off. But that had to have been just been like, yeah, I'm making the right choice in taking time for myself, and my family, my loved ones. But I mean, like he's a big figure in fighting games. One of the most, I think, like the most recognizable like director right now. I think the thing we talked about was the recognizability of different directors of fighting games. And we said that, like Harada's like number one. But yeah, congratulations for the extremely long and storied career. Like Tekken, those are great games. There's a ton of great games there. And he, also worked on a bunch of the Soul Calibers and Pokken Tournament. Like Pokken Tournament's great. Like really great director. So, he definitely earned his, If he is retiring, he's earned his retirement. If he's just going to do something else, then I'm curious to see what that is.
It's very likely I would want to get away from being the Tekken guy. You just reach a point, right? It's just like Sakurai with Smash. He needed a little break to do with Kirby or something, and Kid Icarus and shit over the years. It was just like, you need something. Mm-hmm. And I feel like...
Yeah, and I mean, I bet they're not... he's definitely getting paid well, but I can't imagine that, like Sakurai has Nintendo wrapped around his finger at times, it seems like. He's him being like, I want to take some time off and then I'll make another Smash Bros. Maybe. Meanwhile, Harada's probably just like, well, yeah, I got to keep my job, so I got to keep making Tekken.
Yeah, there's like two layers to it. One is probably like, Itagaki passing away definitely did probably feed into some of this to some degree, because like that's his like, gaming, someone he dealt with a lot in the gaming space when he was early on in his career and stuff like that. So it would just be like a recontextualizing moment. But also like people like Itsuno and a bunch of other devs are talking constantly about like, I've been at this company forever and they want me to do the one thing. They don't want me to do anything that I want to do or like break out. And Bandai Namco especially is such a fucking nightmare company where it's like, if you try to pitch something new, they're like, no, we're just going to buy something new and add it to the selection. Like we're not interested in like they haven't made a Tales game in 5 years. They just keep making remakes. There's not even like the hint of one, like it.
And I mean, I hope that, like, the problem though is that a lot of these creators are going elsewhere and then just end up making, like negotiate and all that.
They just make the same thing, or whatever.
Like I would have, like that's a bummer. So I hope that if Harada is going somewhere else, that they're not just like, all right, buddy, you're making Brecken, and I don't want them to do. I don't want that. We'll see how it goes.
So you're saying you want more of the stupid game that we were talking about earlier, right? You want to see a little bit more of that, right? Breaking the mold.
Yeah, just have some fun with it, But we'll see how it shakes out. Rose, do you want to hit us with your last thing, and then I'll talk about my last thing, and then we'll wrap this all up.
I'm fucking addicted to the Infinity Nikki's 2.0 update recently. So I've just been doing a bunch of that, really, for the most part, when I wasn't playing like fucking Demon School and Angeline Era recently. They made a whole new area in the world where there's little mushroom people and dragons and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is the scariest game of all time. Because like there was all that discourse, let's say, about 6 months ago, with where everyone was like, it's a dead game, it's over. I thought that was really weird when I was playing at the time that it was happening, because don't get me wrong, it was an issue, but it was very much like a very minor issue of like, hey, they are trying to overextend their greed to a certain extent with their gacha system. But at their core, that game has become increasingly insane just every passing month. Like, they added an entire co-op system that has resulted in weird pseudo live areas where you just see a bunch of other Nickies running around. That's scary. There's like a housing system. Yeah.
No, I was just, that's funny.
I do want to say, with regards to that, so they appear as like rainbow ghosts until you load them in, because obviously a lot of models on a dress-up doll character, let's say. Totally. But they added a gigantification ability, and now when you go to these live areas, you just see giant girls running around everywhere, just randomly, and it really takes me out every time.
Okay.
And it's just like, you'll see them, all of a sudden their model will grow huge, and they'll run away. And it's like, whoa, who is that?
Okay.
But they added a housing system where you can literally go Minecraft creative mode and just like float around and like set up things on a track and like create codes for your house, and like everything can be resized and modeled and painted, and fucking there's like 2,000 pieces of furniture you can use to make your house, and like terrain modification and terraforming, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what is this game? They just keep doing things to it. So that's why I'm kind of blown away that they made this very vertically stacked, dense open world area, which are usually the type of open world areas I like, because it's like, when you have the giant map of nothingness that a lot of these games, like Ghost of Yote, great example of, it's a lot of nothingness. It's nothingness that looks nice, but it's a lot of nothingness. Whereas this is more like, oh, you're in a city, so this is like a weird vertically stacked place that you sort of have to like go in and out of buildings and like go in weird places and like solve puzzles and stuff to get around. That makes it a lot more interesting to engage with. And they have cute little mushroom people, so that helps too. But it's really weird seeing this morph into more of a game, almost, where it's like, at a base level, it's a dress-up game, right? Like, fundamentally, even though it's an open world game where you go around and do puzzles, it's by the Breath of the Wild director and a bunch of people who worked on Mario Odyssey. And you can definitely feel that in the base game of like, you're going around collecting stars, right? You're doing little tiny puzzles to get things. But it wasn't much of a game. It was a game, but not like a traditional game, especially in this space. So it was like, you are attacking creatures sometimes, but it's like you're pressing an attack button and then the creature dies immediately, right? Like, it's nothing crazy. But now they have like, you have a bow, you have a bunch of different bows you can use, and they have moves you can set, and like you use a grappling hook, and like you turn huge, like I said, in certain situations. You can summon an oomph to fight for you now, just a little guy who just fights for you. They're just adding all these weird systems, and I'm just like, these gacha games are the scariest fucking thing in the world to me, dude. Whenever I think about, like, from a scope perspective, like, just thinking, like, 2 months ago, they added the ability to make a house from scratch with, like, the level of depth as The Sims. And now it's like, also now we made this other game inside of it now. It's so intimidating. But I'm really enjoying it. I think, like, they give you so many free clothes in that game, and the gacha system is so kind of meta-oriented towards ball gowns that I don't really give a fuck, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like, this is the prevailing notion in the community also. If you look up stuff, it's like, people are like, all right, I get it. I have 5 ball gowns now. Okay, I think we can stop. Like, but so it's the type of thing where you can kind of ignore the gacha for the most part. Like it's just an extra bonus thing more than maybe most games, honestly. Because it's like when you play Genshin Impact or something, you want the character to just like, they're designing the character or the gameplay around a new character for the most part when they add new gameplay, right? So it'll feel better and everything will kind of like work better if you roll for the new one. So you're incentivized in that way. And this way it's literally just, the cosmetic angle, which is still an angle. And I think it's evil. Don't get me wrong. But it's a lot easier to ignore, right? Because for the most part, they're going for very specific aesthetics that are like, you can often mirror with the stuff you just get in the game. Like that game has enough of a loop of you going around and getting outfits on your own and like getting materials to craft your own stuff that it doesn't, I barely even think about the rolling in that game because it's like, whatever, yeah, I'll get the grapple hook dragon, I'm going for it or whatever, but it's not like
nice.
This is the most important thing in the world to focus on or like, oh, I'm obsessed with doing it. Especially as they keep adding stuff like dyeing systems and other things. I really like that they have an in-game lookbook now where people can upload their own outfits and you can kind of copy them directly. It's really funny because I think like at first it was like, all right, look, everyone's making their Disney princesses. Yeah, everyone's making Madoka, whatever, the pretty standard stuff. And now we're getting into like new levels. Like we got like, I don't even know what's going on there anymore. It's because you can dye every single thing in like 17 different ways. It's just, we're getting into like new levels of like scene sub communities and like weird hyper pop things that are, it boggles the mind. Yeah, fun game. Really, really didn't think I would still be playing it kind of, but it's like kind of very relaxing. Because it's like, I have a problem with cozy games where they are boring, for lack of a better word. Like they kind of are pretty basic. They're simplistic. They often rely on tasks that I don't really want to do in a video game. But here, because it is this sort of relaxing thing in the format of like the types of games that I like playing, like a Honkai Star Rail or a JRPG type thing, but also like an open world that is actually like really packed full of stuff. I can really just, chill out and just play it. And I really like that about it.
Yeah. Very nice. All right. My last game here, which I do need to play more of. I've only played a smidgen of it, but what I did play was very cute. Is Milano's Odd Job Collection, which is an odd game, but it's also very exciting that it exists in the form that it does now. So this is a game that came out originally on the PS1. It was never localized. And then a fan translation group called Hilltop Group did a fan translation for it. But then I think Xseed, I think it's Xseed, basically rang them up and went, hey, we are releasing this game. Give us the fan translation, and we'll release it. Give it a dub, and there you go. And they did it. So this is a PS1 emulated, they full on give Hilltop Group the just everything about it. Their logo is on the opening of it all. And yeah, this is the first time that it's available outside of Japan. It's basically like a little mini game collection sort of deal. There's 8 little mini games that you're making money with because so the premise is that you're a little girl named Milano who is basically just left to live on her own. Like she's like 8, and her mom and dad just go, your mom has to go to the hospital, and your dad also has to go somewhere. So you're going to go stay with your uncle for a bit. And then you go to your uncle's house, and there's just a note that says, I'm busy, just live here. So you're just living at your uncle's house, and you just go get a job. And You use the money to decorate the house with little, like furniture, and you can unlock extra recipes for when you cook yourself dinner. And as you do things around the house, your mood and your abilities go up, so you can do more jobs. Like, you have to get better at cooking to go to a different restaurant. Excuse me. Go work at a restaurant. You have to have a better mood if you want to work at like more stressful jobs and the like. And you just continue to do so over about 35-40 days, I want to say. And it's just like a little gameplay loop of doing these mini games and trying to make money. And it's simple, but it's very cute, and it's very cool that something like this got such a lovely fan translation, like, and not just a fan translation, but an official release with that fan translation. Because like they got some good dub folks on there, like they got like Kira Buckland and Casey Milano and all that, doing some stuff on there. I do have to keep playing it, but like it's $15, and it's if you like minigame collections and you like just old games and the like, I would say definitely take a look at it. I think the artist is the same person who did the art for Wonder Boy 4. I want to say Wonder Boy 4. Oh, okay.
Isn't that the one I played?
But yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Asta.
But yes. And there's like an extra gallery in there. It's got like a lot of like the emulator stuff, so you can like rewind and quick save and all that kind of stuff. So it's got all the options that you would want, filters, etc., etc. It's cute. I would say just check it out if you like PS1 games, if you like cute mini game collections, if you like that art style, check it out. It's well made. It's super cool that it exists. It's on like everything. It's on like PC and Switch and Xbox and PS5 and all that. And I'm gonna be honest, my slight evil reason why I keep wanting to push it is because I want more fan translations to be legitimate. Yeah. Because I want someone to bring Community Palm over. I want more people to play Community Palm. Please bring over Community Palm. Please.
I hope they hear you.
Someone needs to. But also, yes, check out Milano's Odd Job collection as well, if you so choose. I think that would be nice, if it's up your alley. All right, then let's answer questions. We got 2 questions. If you want to send in a question, you can go to podcast@gamesline.net, which is our email address. You can also go to our Discord server, which you can get to by going onto thegamezone.zone into your web browser, and then it'll give you the invite, and you can come hang out with us and also send us questions. And I mean, you could also just reply on Blue Sky to the post if you want. You know how it is. But here are the questions that we got this time. First off is from Crystal, who asks, you are in the care of brilliant but acerbic physician Dr. House. What rare gamer's condition does he diagnose in you, and how does he cure it? Dr. House is trying to cure us. What is our gamer's affliction?
Like, is this an affliction that is specific to the gamer demographic?
To you. And your gaming activities.
I think he's going to diagnose me with some form of Judgment Cut related RSI, given how I've been playing recently.
I see. And how will he cure it?
He's always getting up to like stuff in those games, and like I think his need to be as theatrical as he does, like I think he's just gonna show up in like the doctor's office dressed like Dante, which is the funniest thing I can imagine for Hugh Laurie.
He was always meant for it, really.
Hugh Laurie is the Dante of House MD.
Is Stephen Fry Virgil then, I guess? I don't know.
I guess so. I guess we figured it out.
Yeah, there you go. But okay, so he's just gonna show up and you'll be magically cured by seeing him in his cosplay?
Well, it'll compel me to seek naturally more power, and then I'll realize that I wasn't sick the whole time.
Or you'll just do more stretches, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. Okay. Remember, gamers, or everyone, hand stretches are an important part of gaming and health cleanliness. Do some gamer stretches. They're good for you.
They are. Rose, how about yourself? What gaming affliction do you have, and how will Dr. House
I don't know
cure
how he's
you?
going to fix it. I have to think about that, but I have terminal reverence-itis, where I don't play games for a really long time because I need the ideal circumstances, and I need to respect it properly. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you ever have that?
Oh my god. I know. Literally when I was in my old living situation, I like abstained from all of the games I wanted to play because I was like,
yep,
no, it's not right.
That's what happens to me all the time. It's why I haven't finished Silk Song, because I'm crazy. I think he could solve it by locking me in some sort of sensory deprivation gaming chamber for a while.
That is something that he would do.
Yeah.
He would just like
I'd be like, I need
you
food,
in
and he'll be like, no,
a pit of some sort or
you
something.
don't. You need to game.
We're gonna pipe in gamer goo until you finish Silk Song.
You know, the worst part is
actually that sounds like a saw trap.
He is a gamer. Also, we know this. He plays Metroid Zero Mission and he loves Pokemon. So, like, he's probably pretty good at this.
That's true.
So relatable.
What if Rose was in the hyperbolic time chamber and betrayed by Dr. House?
He just starts filling it with like liar or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so for John's affliction. My affliction, I think that I just need to have better focus on games sometimes. And I think the cure will be that he smacks me upside the head with his cane if he sees me scrolling on my phone too much. There you go. That's
John, listen to me.
Yes.
You got to be honest with yourself. We all know what your gamer affliction is, okay?
Okay.
Your gamer affliction is that you're addicted to collecting them damn Pokemon creatures. You cannot help but collect a beast.
He's going to make you fetch a pail of water instead.
But, okay.
I walk up the hill, I grab the pail, come back
the
down.
The simple pleasures. Like, you know, it's
I don't need to do it as much.
I don't need 3 Magikarp. I only need what I have.
Oh.
I feel...
I can read Fata Morgana now. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. House. You saved our lives.
Thank you. Listen, you're so right. Because, like I said, I've only played a little bit of Milano, and that is because of the ZA DLC game.
All I can think is, like, he needs to, like, force you to specifically shiny chain hunt in, like, fucking Sun and Moon, where they make you do the 50 battles or whatever in a row, and then he needs to be, like, every time you go to a new chain, a child is crying, or something like that. Like, I throw my cane at this dog in the background, and you need to learn.
Oh my god, don't do that to me. I did that a lot.
I know, that's why I brought it up, because I remember.
John, we're going to make you wear this headset where every time you feel the temptation to shiny hunt, we're going to flash you a picture of a sad puppy.
No.
We're going to show you just like, I don't even know.
Me. Okay.
I'm trying to think, what's like a creature you love? It needs to be like some sort of community palm beast, just like looking sadly off at the horizon. Every time you go into a new shiny hunt, they delay the English release of community palm.
No, and also, you know what? We're joking around, but Community Palm is also a monster collecting.
Yeah, but they have fucking shiny hunts in that one. Yeah. So that they would heal.
They don't. So
I feel like playing Community Palm in the first place is its own form of shiny hunting. You are like, you need to fiend for the more obscure beasts.
All right. Yeah, we'll just. Yeah, we need someone to just like string me up until I can focus on a game that doesn't involve beast collecting. Hey. All right, and our last question here is from Leo K, who asks, the recent TGAs had some melee action game presence with Control, Resonant, Neo 3, and Phantom Blade Zero. Which of those are you looking forward to or curious about? What's a melee action game you love that you would want more people to try out? And I mean, we talked about Control quite a bit, but is that just our answer, all of us, or are we also looking forward to Neo and or Phantom Blade Zero?
I'm pretty sure if I said that I wasn't excited for Neo 3, Lorelai would break into my house.
Lorelai is the big Neo person, but you need to make it clear, I am a very large Neo person as well. I'm just more restrained. I fucking love Neo.
Okay, so Lorelai and Rose will break into my house if I say that I'm not at least a little bit excited.
They let you change into ninja mode. It's gonna be awesome.
They do let you change into ninja mode.
But yeah, I think Neo 3 I am the most excited about. I'm honest. Okay, I have to express something about Phantom Blade Zero. So I still think it will have some level of sauce because it is an RPG Maker game turned into an insane action game thing. And it looks better than Wukong by a substantial margin. The bar is on the floor there, I know. But I am still very trepidatious towards it because every time they show it, the first trailer was vague enough that you could assume a lot about it. And the more and more we get towards a concrete representation of it, the more I'm like, I don't know how much you'll actually be able to do in this game. Like, I'm worried that it will be a very... I don't even know the analog to put towards it. But, like, the way that when you watch that gameplay from the new stuff, and you'll be mid-combo and an enemy will start to attack you and you auto-parry it, is something that worries me. Because I think people have a lot of umbrage with parry systems right now because it's a very reflexive thing. I think you can do parry systems well. I really like, Kazan earlier this year had like 3 different types of parries that you could do. So having 3 means they're meaningfully still thinking about the way you're engaging with that game, right? Because they have to create reasons to do them and stuff like that. And it's like, with this... I don't know how much player expression there actually will be. Will it look cool? Probably. It will probably look really cool still. But I worry about it from an action game standpoint. Like, will it just end up being like a lot of these really basic, not even Souls-likes, just like basic action games where you just do the light attacks and then maybe a heavy attack sometimes. And I would love for them to release a demo for that game, maybe, so we can actually see. But a lot of the stuff they've shown just seems very on rails and cinematic, which I don't have a problem with. If we get something that's more like a Fury, I really like Fury as a game because it's just, boss fights. You just go through all the boss fights and they're cool. If it's something like that, I think that it could be really good. But I have to see what it is first before I really go, okay, I'm excited for this.
Mm-hmm. All right. Lily, is your answer just Control, or are you feeling... I mean, I know that you said that you would get your ass beat by someone if you didn't talk up Neo 3, but did you say Control is your answer?
So Control is my most like straightforward, like, yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. The thing is, I have bounced off of both of the Neos for different reasons for either one. I'll still try Neo 3. I think it does enough cool things that I would still be interested in like dipping my toe in and seeing kind of how it conducts itself. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel the same way about like Phantom Blade Zero as Rose, where it's kind of like that same thing where it feels kind of like spectacle in that game doesn't come from any actual ability for yourself to control it, especially with the way like watching that trailer, it very much seems like it wants to avoid having like the flexibility of experience to kind of self-express that makes those games actually enjoyable to play and maybe less enjoyable to watch, I guess, to an extent.
It's like to draw a comparison to Devil May Cry, right? In Devil May Cry, Dante can, on his own, sort of, for the most part, start shooting in two different directions. Like, you just kind of have to do an input and have an enemy nearby to have him start doing that. And it looks very cool. But you did still initiate the action, right? And that is what makes all the meaning in that, because you still did the cool thing. So you feel really cool for doing it.
Well, yeah, it's a series of decisions rather than the flattening of the experience, turning the game into something more simple.
That was my problem with Doom Eternal versus Doom the Dark Ages as an example of two recent games. I like Doom Eternal. I know some people don't like Doom Eternal, which is fine. It's a totally different weird beast. That's fine. Okay, that's totally fine. But I liked it because it had a lot of really weird shit you could do all the time, and it really felt like you were just kind of using a bunch of different parts of a toolkit. Even if it, mashes up against some really clunky design, it's still you doing a bunch of different things. And then in the Doom the Dark Ages, it really is just the green light is here. Press the green light button, like forever, forever and ever and ever. And that's that whole game. And it's like, this feels way more like that school of design almost, except even removing the green light aspect potentially.
And my answer, it's just Control. I don't care about Neo.
I mean, you're
Phantom
not the
Blade,
Souls-like pervert, right? So there's no shot you'd ever play a Neo, unfortunately.
I tried the first demo for Neo 1.
No, well, I mean, to be fair, that was really bad.
So,
that was like a really bad demo. That's the one. I mean, that's why I'm really excited, because they've already taken a bunch of feedback from the first Neo 3 demo, because I feel like they're the best in the business at responding to demos. I'm like kind of blown away by it. Of like, they've already changed how like weapons work and how things will happen. And that first Neo one is a perfect example of like, there was like weapon durability in that first Neo demo, and it was like a Diablo game. And it's like, okay, I get what you're going for, but like my sword just broke. Yeah, you're fucking insane.
Y'all are maniacs.
But I'm still not going to be into it just like on a baseline.
You hate stamina.
So, I don't mind stamina. I don't know. I just don't really like how Souls like
you hate iframes. I don't know.
Listen, there are some hot and sexy iframes in this world. I've been playing Virgil all week, but there is I get at least where John comes from in terms of like the feel of something like Dark Souls or FromSoft's catalog in general is a very different fantasy than something like a traditional character action
definitely game. I mean, that's exactly what I was saying in my Kazan thing of it's like, I like this, still not a character action game, but I hope this inspires people to go, hey, we don't have to do Dark Souls all the time.
Well, that was the funny thing about Liza P. Overture. Yeah. There was so much fucking character action shit in there. I was going insane. Like, we could have gone 10% further and it would have been amazing.
When they... that last weapon. The gunblade.
It's so cool. It's ridiculous.
Animation priority is the most beautiful thing in this world. I love it so much.
It's good. Don't get me wrong, Like, I love that shit.
It's like they literally looked at Gunbreaker and they're like, yeah, we can do that shit too.
But I guess, are there any specific character acting games that you want to shout out for folks that maybe don't get enough attention?
Yeah.
In the modern era, again, it's really, really hard to shout out something for explicitly like a character-based action game. As I've said, all about the sauce. And as a result, indie or lower budget character action games are going to infinitely feel inferior to the stronger stuff. Like, there are a lot of perpetually in alpha character action games on Steam, and it always feels disappointing when you're 60% of the way there and you've been in early access for 7 years kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My honest, genuine appeal would be, if you like character action games, look backward. We used to exist in a time where they were populous because that was kind of like the way games were made. I know people have made the joke to literal goddamn death and back about the fucking IGN review, but just play goddamn
really
God
good.
Hand. It's good. It's a good game. If you are even slightly interested in having a ton of choices to make like your own literal moveset, that's what God Hand is. The Shinobi PS2 game, also a really cool character action game. Maybe this is like the PS2 Power Hour. I don't know.
I'm not opposed to that.
The old OG, Devil May Cries are still good. Don't play the second one. But those are all good. And the thing is that looking back and playing those, you can better appreciate the stuff in the modern era. Like, obviously your question was specific to Melee, like, character action games, but Vanquish is really good. No one played Vanquish. Evil West
fine.
is okay. It has a lot of flaws that make it really clunky, and your character is a walking gun by the end of that game. It's crazy.
The electricity feel real good.
But it did. I did really laugh really hard when I realized that the punching sound when you're doing the rapid punches is just pinball bumpers. That was really funny to realize. Sorry, I think I answered every possible conceivable answer for the genre. Other people can go now.
Yeah, Rose, what do you got?
Well, mine is Wonderful 101, which you didn't mention. I love Wonderful 101 so much. I feel like a lot of people ignore that, and you can actually play it extremely easily now. Granted, I do prefer obviously playing with the Wii U gamepad because you could draw with the stylus, which is really interesting as a concept option. But realistically, you don't have to. The stick is totally fine, and it works great on modern stuff. I honestly keep meaning to replay it because I think it's so good. I realized that I have a couple insane option answers here that aren't necessarily the traditional melee-based third-person action one, but I would say that I really like Strider from 2012 or whatever. That one's a fun little game.
Oh, yeah. The
2D one. And I also like the most recent Prince of Persia, Metroidvania. I would not say that one's fully character action, but it gets damn close because you have a lot of really interesting tools of engaging with the world, like teleportation, dashes, variable, juggling and stuff like that. That really make it feel like the type of thing you want out of one of these games, which is just juice, good feel. Feeling like you're doing something really fucking cool, that's the whole point we do this, right? These games are all about just feeling really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I have a particularly interesting answer. I'm going to be honest.
I'll throw you a softball because you're the Switch head.
Okay.
Oh, true.
Astral Chain.
Astral Chain. That is a good one. Astral Chain is good.
Even though you have to play as the cop in that game.
You have to play the entire game to get to the point where all the cool combat challenges appear, which is a really weird thing. Yeah. Not that it's bad before that, to be clear. I just think it's really weird that you have to beat that game almost to unlock 50% of that game's combat.
Yeah.
Kind of. It does feel a little weird, but I also think that character action games are kind of defined by having an incomplete moveset, and you're kind of intended to play them over again. Spoilers. Yeah, DMC5 doesn't give Nero a DT until the last 6 seconds of the game.
Ninja Gaiden 4 doing very much the same thing recently, so...
One more thing here. Maverick did actually send a question in the chat real quick. What game would benefit from having a dumb peripheral attached to its control scheme? We've become complacent with driving consoles, rhythm arcade games that get kooky like Chunitham, Sound Voltex, and Waka. My current thought is a visual novel with a fake book that you have to flap to turn the page. That just
makes me think of that beautiful E3 conference where they had that woman on the stage open that book for the PlayStation 3 fucking thing, and she was just very slowly reading it and going, wow.
Yeah, the Germa Wonder Book videos are classics. I'll just say that. Those are really good.
We need more fucking Tamagotchi ass shit is all I'm saying. Like, whenever I see the stuff like, the VMUs for the Dreamcast, they didn't really use it for many good ideas on the Dreamcast, I gotta say. But the concept is beautiful. I love a Pokey Walker, you know? Just a separate little thing. I'm taking my guy. He's going with me somewhere.
If Digimon really wants to compete with Pokemon, they should make it so you get a V-Pet and you could put one of your guys from the game onto that and carry it around.
Good as hell.
Just do just do the
Pokey Walker was a beautiful thing. I just remember carrying that around as a normal pedometer type thing and just being like, oh, Pichu's here with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we don't even need to go... no. We need the peripherals. I take it back. I was going to say, you can just put it on your phone, but no. We need a stupid thing.
Need a little device. That's what this is about. It's about having a little device of some sort. Yeah.
Okay. We need to get back to an era where, like, the next Armored Core can do some Steel Battalion shit. I'm not saying the full thing. That was insane. I'm just saying, if you added a stupid little peripheral that's just like a giant joystick with a couple buttons on it, and you use that sometimes for weird things you're doing, I think that could be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, the RE4 chainsaw controller, they should have brought that back for the remake. Absolutely.
They have another chance.
Abso-fucking-lily. They do. We gotta do it. I think that we need to... Okay. I think that they are charging too much for it, but I do love the concept of having to slide your Switch into the Virtual Boy to play Virtual Boy games. I think that we need to do more of that. I think that there should be, like... They should have made it so you have to, like, put the Joy-Cons into an NES controller, like just like meld it together and turn it into an NES controller to play the NES games or something like that. They should have had like modes to swap into to play the different virtual console or
I was going to make a joke about what if you slotted it into some cardboard and created some sort of a new thing. They could call it like Labo or something. It'd be pretty fun.
I'll be honest, I think that Labo is kind of a fun idea too.
They didn't go far enough
with it, and it was also they didn't go far enough with it, and it was also cheap as fuck. So like everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, no, my cardboard got messed up, so I can't play Labo anymore." Like they should have gone a little further with it. But no, I think that you should like have to like slot your device in and be like activating Super Nintendo mode and just. And then
I'm gonna steal John's idea and combine it with the prior question. Okay, so envision with me a wonderful one-like game where the protagonist is kind of like a Megazord situation that you sync with the game, and in order to like, because again, we can all agree that. Switching Dante's styles around as quickly as possible is super fun, right?
Yes.
Have this little guy on your desk where you're playing a character action game, and anytime you want to switch stances, you basically need to Transformers shift him.
I didn't... That's kind of what they
Starlink?
did with that, Starlink
almost.
game. Yeah, kinda. Which I thought that idea was cool, though. That was a cool idea. That was, like, basically, like, it was kind of like Amiibos, where you would have the spaceship, and then you'd slot it onto your controller and fly around with it, and then you could transform it, and it would transform in the game. Like, yeah, like, something like that. But
but make it character action.
But make it character action, because that's what we actually like.
Star Fox is kind of a character action game, if you really go from it.
Star Fox Assault is the most hated character action game of all time.
I don't know what we're doing.
There's a darkness afflicting the podcast around this hour, I dare say.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that does it. I think we're done podcasting for the entire year.
Good job.
That's crazy, isn't it?
This year of gaming is reached its end.
We came back, like I don't want to like kiss our own asses too much, but like Gamesline was I'm not trying to like talk shit or whatever, but like yeah, I think we were kind of in a slump for a while there, and I think we've come back. We are energized. We are creating things once again. We are talking about video games, and we're being very smart about it. And we will continue to do so into the new year. And that is all thanks to you all for listening. And also thanks to the new blood that we brought on as well. Lily, you're here, so I can directly thank you. But so thank you very much for joining up with us this year. You have contributed a whole lot. And, also shout out to Nicholas and to Jackson and to Crystal as well. All four of you have added a ton to Gamesline, and I am very thankful. And I can only hope that we will continue to do things with you all for 2026. And I mean the same.
I do have a big announcement.
You do.
The next time I'm going to be on the podcast, this desk is going to be clean.
We're starting over.
We're starting over. New year, new desk.
I'm a little scared about it, but you know what? I'm also very hopeful. I want to see what happens.
What's there to be scared of? I am well known for my restraint.
Of course. Here, I'm zooming in on you one last time so everyone can fully grasp the state of the desk before it is cleaned for the new year.
This, for reference, this is exactly what this is like in real life also.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be cleaning your real desk as well.
Yeah, I'm going to clean my room.
Okay.
My office is in shambles.
No, I get it. I mean, you can see.
Well, you have the burden of being a real boy, John.
That's true. I can grab things on my real desk and I could show them, like Pepsi Man getting his ass bit.
There's Pepsi Man.
He's getting his ass bit by a dog.
I mean, I can grab things on my desk, probably. Like, nope. It's a static object.
Oh, okay. Well,
it did not work.
I'm sorry. Maybe next year we'll figure out the technology.
With your donations to Gamesline, maybe someday I will have hands.
Yes, it's something that we should maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm as open as I possibly can about stuff. So the Patreon does help a lot. We could always use more. We could always, shovel that money into more crazy shit. So any further support is much appreciated. Thank you so much, everybody. You can follow us on our website, gamesline.net. You can follow us on Blue Sky, which is also gamesline.net. You can follow us on Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com. And if you want to keep up with all the VODs that we're putting up, it's on youtube.com/@thegamesline. It's got to have the @sign. Remember the @sign. And if you're live right now, you're already on it. But if you want to join us for podcast recordings live, it's on twitch.tv/GameslineTV. It's Sundays around 5 p.m. Central. So 6 EST. And adjust it depending on where you live. And if you do want to support us, it's patreon.com/Gamesline. We have a $3 tier, but, we'll accept whatever you so desire. In the new year, I suppose we will do our anime podcast again. We fell off of that.
The anime season sucked. I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not even watching anything. Do you know what I watch all the time? I watch fucking anything, John. There's nothing. I'm not watching anything.
You'll watch whatever the fuck. And come join our Discord server, thegamezone.zone. Talk to us at any time. We'll be around. I mean, even during the holidays when we're, doing family things. I'm still looking at my phone. Maybe it shouldn't be.
When I'm cozy up with my little cup of cocoa, you can @ me in the Gamesline server and tell me games that you think I should play.
Yeah.
Tell me games you think I shouldn't play.
And we'll argue with you about it. No. And thank you to Melt Channel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. And make sure, if you're going to buy their music, you can do it at any time, but the best time to do it is the first Friday of every month. That's Bandcamp Friday. And they're still doing it into the new year, so you will be able to continue to do so if you want. Rose, where can people find you?
Fata Morgana at bsky.social. I realize I just retweet art on Twitter. That's the only thing I do anymore, so now I don't even bother going over there. You can also go to twitch.tv/CurryDraco. I do that sometimes now again.
Lily, how about you?
I can be found at galilusdatra.bsky.social, where I post my music taste, I talk about my excitement for snow, and I talk esoterically, hermetically, one could say, about video games.
Of course. And you can find me on Blue Sky at john.gamesline.net. And I would like if you did follow me and then said, John, thank you for posting. Sometimes. Thank you. Because I like to post, and it's fun. But thank you very much for a successful year of Gamesline, and we'll be back soon with more things. We're going to do Game of the Year type material. We will announce that once we start to put it together. And then we're going to be just back in 2026 with another episode of the Gamesline podcast. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.